from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the LG Ultragear presents Tech Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Crucial. Apparel sponsor is 656. Accessory sponsor is Cosmic Byte, and our esports partner is Aimlabs. It's me, Kirito, alongside my friend CCV. We're here today with more group stage action in the Season 3 tournament, and we got a good match today. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Reckoning Esports versus FS Esports for the first one, and I'm excited about it. How are you feeling, CCV?
This is going to be match number one in Group A, followed up by our 8 p.m. match in Group B, ROG Academy versus True Rippers as well. And again, the thing is, with all four of these teams, right now, obviously our focus is surely going to be on Reckoning and FS, but all four of these teams are fighting for such various different reasons in the regular season right now. We'll show the standings. We'll talk about how their performance has been, all four of these teams later on in the day as well. But right now, Reckoning, yeah, they're fighting for their life. This season has been very difficult on them. Season three has not been good, and they've played against so many people and they've just been shot down so many times. Speaking of people who shoot them down, and speaking of people who have overall like the best performances that we have seen in season 3 of Gauntlet, well, we can bring up the MVP standings and we can have a look at the players who are the most influential because of the amount of kills they have and because of the ACS and just the overall sheer compatibility with their squad. And yet again, it's the four that we have been seeing since so long. Deathmaker leading the tables. He played yesterday and he performed yesterday as well. And now he secures his spot in position number one even more. Then we move on to Sai, who's in TEAMXO from Group B. The table toppers right there. Also in second position. Again, very comfortable for all four of these gentlemen. Kirito, what are your thoughts about our MVPs in the season?
Yeah, I mean, so far it's looking pretty consistent. All four of these
Yeah.
have been up there for quite a while. I was expecting things to shift around a little bit, but so far as we are seeing, these four are pretty much, securing this position. I'm pretty sure it's gonna change up, though. That's the thing about these MVP standings; they never remain the same for the entirety of the tournament. And I'm at least hoping to see some new faces showing up there. We obviously have so many more potential fraggers in the entirety of the Gauntlet Season 3, and I'm excited to see some new faces there because a single match can change the whole course of the event. And that's speaking of this course of events. Let's see how the events are standing now at the present time as we go into the group standings to see who is actually at the top and who is at the bottom. As we look at the Group A standings, today's participants, FS Esports, they're sitting pretty nicely on the second position. They've played about 5 matches and they've won four of them, lost only one, sitting pretty at 9 points. Meanwhile, their opponents, Reckoning Esports, oh, they're not looking in that great of a scenario, are they, CCB?
Yeah. For the side of Reckoning, again, relegation has just hit them very hard, and alongside Susquad, they'll be the second team from Group A to be relegated. Very difficult. And the thing is, Kirito, we are now nearing the tail end of the regular season. The main event is going to be starting. I know everyone's excited for it, but the main event only concerns the top four teams from each of the groups. And Reckoning Esports aren't there yet. They can't even seem to stay in fifth and sixth position, as that is taken by Salt Esports and Only Friends. So with that being said and done, for the side of Reckoning, the two matches that they have remaining, this one and their follow-up fixture later on, well, they just have to make sure that they improve and they learn the best from their mistakes and they rectify those mistakes so that the chances that they have playing in a league match, in a stream, in a broadcast stream, in a scenario such as this, well, they can capitalize off of that and they can make sure that as soon as season 4 rolls around, they'll be on their strongest foot to get back into the groups, whether it be Group A or Group B, and they can still play in the regular season. For now, their second last match in the regular season, yeah, it's going to be another very difficult one against them. FS Esports have really been looking strong. I mean, look at their win-loss ratio. Only a single loss. They have cemented their position in spot number 2 right now. They can't overtake Velocity to take spot 1 because that will help, obviously every single team with seeding and all going into the main event. However, with second position, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. FS, they are pretty. I'm pretty sure they would be happy with what they have achieved in this tournament by far, and the group stage should be pretty. The results should be pretty decent for them going into the playoffs. I think they are definitely going to be, looking to improve, and the same for Reckoning as well. What's happened has happened. It doesn't really matter now. You got to look forward to, focus on your mistakes. And speaking of Reckoning, let's take a look at the team right now and see what the players are consisting of in that roster as we take a look. And I gotta say, I expected a lot more from these players, especially from Juven and INQ. I thought those two would make a good combo, but so far, as we see the scoreboard, we already in the group standings, we already saw the team has not been looking good. What do you think the main reason for that could be, CCB?
It honestly, in my eyes, it's going to be the roster changes that they've had. Reckoning Esports, the organization, they announced their roster back in June of this year, and since then we have been seeing players shifting in and out. Some people have left the team, some have stayed. We have seen new faces come in. So I still think that Reckoning and this squad as a whole, the five players in front of our screens right now, they're still trying to cement themselves as a team. They're still trying to build the foundation, and then once they've built the foundation, they can further build upon it, and then they can be the squad that can live up to the name of Reckoning, because these used to be the colossal giants. They used to be one of the best squads in the country and in the South Asian region. Right now they have taken a step back. This season has been a bit harsh on them, but hopefully for all the Reckoning fans, they can come back stronger later. As for now, this can be another one of their showings where they can prove that they have the potential. I sincerely hope that they have done their work behind the scenes, that they have made sure that they are on the strongest foot forward to tackle FSE Sports head on, because it's going to be difficult. Numbers are really stacked against them. We'll talk about the maps later. We'll talk about FSE Sports as well themselves, because FS are also looking very, very strong. Their player performances that have been absolutely insane. But for now, we can still talk about the major, most valuable player on the side of Reckoning Esports. The MVP spotlight. Who do we want to talk about today? We can go with that player, and we can just clearly see why that player is the most valuable. So let's bring him up. And well, yeah, it's going to be Sukuna from the side of Reckoning, the controller. And yet again, for the side of Reckoning, the controllers have changed over the course of time, but he seems to have made a strong footing using his utility. His KDA isn't looking the best. It's more about his utility usage that will be mattering to his team.
Yeah, I mean, Astra is just such a utility-based agent, isn't she? Like,
Exactly.
you can play a solo role with an Astra, but she's way more preferred combined with another agent, such as maybe a Sentinel like Killjoy or Cypher, or just, supporting for your teammates, doing those concussions, using the gravitational wells, and helping your teammates go for the peaks. So that's the role that Sukuna's playing, and he's been doing that pretty decently. I'm gonna be honest. I really like how he plays the Astra. It's really consistent, and every time his teammates are going for that fight, they always have that support. They always have that backup from those Astra stars. So making those Astra utilities count. I mean, as a player who likes to play controllers a lot, Astra is not easy to master. And I
Yeah.
can say for certain, Sukuna, he's done a terrific job with the Astra, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play today. Hopefully, the Astra might come into play because obviously, what else is better to see than seeing a really good synchronized team? Obviously, as you said, Reckoning they've had some trouble with that, but that's where they need to improve now. That's what these last few matches in the group standings mean for them. That they need to work on their chemistry a lot more better. But yeah, let's go on to their opponents that are today. That is FSE Sports. Let's check out the team highlights for them. Who's in the roster and who's going to be performing from them, and their names are going to be showing up right now. What are your thoughts on this team, CC?
Well, for the side of FS Esports, yeah, everyone's looking good. Cooley's there, someone who can recognize B2, Cactus. I mean, every single player, we have seen them play a lot, and obviously, we have seen them in season 3. That's why FS have had such a dominant showing, with the exception of the one loss that they've had against VLT. But other than that, yeah, any team that they encounter, it has been really good, and I think it'll keep on being a really good journey for them in the regular season. They've got a few more matches here and there after this said best of 3 as well against Reckoning. But after that, the main event is where they'll truly be tried. Because in Group A, yeah, Reckoning is the one, sorry, not Reckoning, Velocity is the one colossal giant. They faced against Reckoning like they are right now. They faced against multitudes of other teams. But once they encounter what Group B, the death group, has to offer, then FS Esports will truly, their strength will truly be put to the biggest of tests and to the biggest of margins. As for now, all 5 members on our screens are looking really, really confident. They like playing their duels. They like playing their duelist, and they like going for those engagements. They love getting those kills, and overall, we can see that they have had consistent performances. I was just looking at the previous match that they had against Weird Esports, another one of the teams who has qualified and who has taken a spot in the main event for the Gauntlet. And yeah, it was a good performance. It went into OT. It was very, very hectic, but towards the end, FS still managed to take the win 2-1 in that BO3, which was insane considering we went to overtime twice.
Yeah, consistency is something that I really like to see in a team, and I got to be honest, FS Esports are delivering on that term. They just keep on playing together. They use the utility to the best, and I feel like they have a lot of the maps in the Valorant map pool right now known like the back of their hand. They have studied these maps very densely, and they now know every nook and cranny, every sort of lineup, whatever you want to say. They have that memorized in their brains, and combine that with the good synergy and the utility they have. I feel like this is a really strong team. Again, as you said, that will be tested in the playoffs against the Group B teams where we have EXO, True Rippers, a lot of the stronger teams there. We'll definitely see that. But yeah, let's just check out this player spotlight for the setup of Esports powered by Crucial. And who's it going to be? It's actually going to be B2 playing the Cypher. Again, one more thing, the KD isn't looking the best, but I gotta say, the Cypher is a very utility dependent agent, isn't he? It's all about the utility
Yeah.
right now in some of these players. You gotta be able to use the agent to its full potential, and I gotta say, B2, he's been looking flawless on that Cypher, which requires the support for his teammates. It's absolutely insane, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from him today. What about you?
Absolutely. I think it's not just the utility, but how exactly are going to FS utilize all of the utility and the information that they'll be gathering, whether it be the tripwires, cyber cages, or even his spy cam. Everything from Cypher can grant their team so much cover, so much information about the whereabouts of their opponents. Not to mention his ultimate as well, which is going to be just pure information overall. That B2 has got to make sure he stays alive till at least like the mid towards the end of the rounds. He uses his utility very nicely. And on defense, obviously, he's got to make the best out of it. Attack, yeah, if he's going to play the Cypher, we can see the spy cam being used a lot, but the tripwires are definitely going to be utilized for watching all of those backstabs and sneaky looks. But it's all going to be dependent on the map. We'll be talking about the maps very, very soon. We'll be bringing up the best of three maps as well, because honestly, the map pool, it's quite interesting. Let's have a look at the maps. Let's have a look at which maps and in what order they're going to be played. And the first map is going to be Ascent, chosen by FS, and this makes a lot of sense. Reckoning,
Mhm.
they've gone for Haven. I have a theory why this, and then the decider map of Split. Well, that's just honestly a coin toss. Going into map number one, Kirito, honestly, the major reason I think FS have chosen Ascent is like I talked about. Both of these teams in Group A, we can sort of find a benchmark to be found against them. Both of these teams have played against Weird Esports. FS Esports, they played against them like 4 days ago, and Reckoning played against them a couple of weeks ago. So it was an old match, but both of these teams have played against Weird here, the Gauntlet. And the thing is, on Ascent, FS, they ended up defeating Weird 16-14 in overtime. Yes, it was very close, but it was still a win. They went into OT. Reckoning, on the other hand, lost to Weird on this very map of Ascent 13-5. So it wasn't the closest of margins. And I think FS Esports are just going to try and exploit that factor, knowing that Reckoning, their best map is not going to be Ascent, and try and get an easy early victory there.
Yeah, that's actually a really smart move. And knowing that you're good at a map and your opponents aren't the best on that, you're definitely going to go for the pick, because at this stage, you want to make sure you get every win possible. You don't want to give away anything to chance right now. In FS, they're playing exactly like that, to their strengths and, exploiting their opponent's weaknesses, that being the map of Ascent. Again, we are going for the map of Haven, pick by Reckoning. And I feel like that's a logical pick for them. They have a pretty decent utility setup over there. But the thing is, will that utility result in them getting the rounds and them getting the frags that they need? They need to make sure they have that same level of team coordination, which might be a problem considering all those roster changes you were talking about. If these roster changes affect their synergy, it's going to be a really difficult map for them, because Haven, considering there are three sites and considering that the side of FS are going to be defending first, they need to make sure their attack is on
Yeah.
top notch and on the best that they can provide, because it is a bit of an attacker sided map. I'm gonna be honest, but again, it's FS we're talking about. They're not on the second position of the Group A standings for no reason. And yeah, if we are lucky, if we do get to go see the third map split, I'm really interested to see what both sides come up with there and what the whole map is gonna be. So overall, I feel like it's a really hectic packed map veto for us, and hopefully the
Yes.
viewers you are excited for this match. I am excited because Reckoning, people might not expect much from them, but honestly, these are the stages where some of the teams like to shine. Some of the teams are like, okay, there's not much to lose right now. Let's just experiment some new strats. Let's see what we can, uh, perform, what we can provide to the players, what we can provide to the viewers in these scenarios. So I believe Reckoning, they're just gonna give it all they got there since they have nothing to lose. So it's gonna be a good match. And I'm hoping that the same can be said for FS. They know that they pretty much have secured a pretty decent position on that top four, but still, they don't want to hold anything back, especially against a team that isn't, performing the best in this stage.
Yeah, for the side of FS, they certainly don't want to give away the second position, although it is unlikely they are going to get overthrown from spot number 2 in Group A. Still, like you mentioned, no chances and no risks for their side. And again, with the map veto as well, doesn't look like there are going to be a lot of risks. Neither one of these teams, they've gone for like experimental maps, like, I don't know, maybe a Fracture, maybe a Breeze, something we saw yesterday. Today, it's all safe picks with the exception of Split. We talked about Ascent, we talked about Haven. We can theorize and we can summarize, why said teams have chosen those maps. Split to me feels more like, okay, it's the final map. We had to ban two more maps. Let's get rid of Fracture, Bind, Breeze. Let's throw those away. Split is remaining. If we do go there, you know what? We'll see what happens. With Split, I don't see a lot of like pre-planning. I just see they're going to play the game that they know. They're not going to counter strat their opponents. It's not going to be very, very tactical. It's just going to be the tried and tested methods. That is, of course, if we do go to Split, because chances are that Haven, Reckoning, right now they haven't had the best showings. Hopefully, I really want them to have improved, because Haven used to be their grounds. Haven used to be the map where Reckoning could not be defeated. But recently, they have not found a lot of success. Just like in the regular season, they haven't found a lot of success. So, like you mentioned about it, Kirito, behind the scenes with VOD reviews, with scrims, with the dry runs, with strategies, Reckoning surely need to have improved. And I think they've chosen Haven for this very reason. Whatever improvements they've made, whatever mistakes they've rectified, they want to put that to the test. They want to play against an actual team in a broadcast setting, not just like an offline scrim. And they want to see where exactly do they stand in preparation for season 4 of the Gauntlet. But Haven is still going to be talked about later. For now, it is going to be Ascent that is going to be our main topic of conversation. It's going to be Ascent. And yet again, the operator composition is something I have to ask you, Kirito, because we talked about, in the player spotlight for the side of Reckoning, we talked about Sukuna and we talked about Astra. All of us know Astra is going to be really vital on Haven and a must pick on that map. But for Ascent, do you think Reckoning are still going to go for an Astra including composition, or are they looking for, I don't know, maybe a different controller?
Honestly, I feel like Ascent, you can play pretty much with every controller except for maybe a Viper. Viper, I feel like, is a lot more viable in some of the larger maps, like obviously Breach. We have
Breeze,
Breeze. We have Fracture. We even in some cases, a lot of teams like to play on Haven. It's a weird pick, but it happens sometime. But again, a small map like Ascent, where it's very much textbook. It's very much the simple basic strategies of Valorant. You don't really need any complex strats planned for that. I feel like maybe even a simple Astra, even an Omen could get the job done. But yeah, especially considering Sukuna, how much he's practiced with that Astra, how much utility and dedication he has with that agent, I feel like we might just see the Astra coming into play. So I guess that could be the pick. But other than that, I believe both sides should go with the tried and tested double initiator, maybe a Sky, maybe a Sova, maybe stick with a single duelist, have your best player, have your best fragger, play on the jet possibly. That should be the pretty if I had to make a lineup, I'd probably go with that double initiator and a single duelist, single sentinel, single controller one, because I feel like that has the most consistent utility overall. And I feel like the double initiator provides so much more information, especially if you go with a Sky and an Sova. The information that these two can provide is absolutely insane, and I feel like either team will definitely love to exploit that information. So yeah, I feel like that is something that we can expect to see today. And speaking of expectation, guys, I know you're waiting for the match to begin. But yeah, I have news from production side. A match is gonna begin in about a minute or two. So let's just get ready. CC, what are your thoughts about the agent selection?
I don't know, agent selection. Now I'm thinking about FS Esports as well. What you talked about information, they definitely, in my eyes, are going to bring the Cypher. We have seen plenty of Cypher on the map of Send. I don't think we'll be missing out on him right now as well. So, with that being said and done, how exactly are they going to pick and choose their other agents, specifically the initiators, knowing that Cypher with his spy cam, with his neural theft ultimate is on the board to give so much info already? Are they willing to experiment a bit? Are they willing, instead of a Sova or instead of a Sova Sky, can they just go for a single initiator, perhaps only a Sova, and they can go for something like a double duelist composition? Because double controller doesn't really make sense on a map like Ascend. We've seen it on Bind, we've seen it sometimes on Icebox as well, but Ascend is not going to work that much. So double duelist can be the way to go, and we have seen FS Esports play double duelist again. They love to play Jet and Reyna. So with that being said and done, from the side of FS Esports, that's what I'm expecting. Probably a Jet, Reyna, Cypher, Sova, and in terms of the controller, most likely an Astra, but that is subject to change, like you mentioned. And Omen is also certainly on the board. But yeah, FS, I'm looking for a double duelist, and I think that'll be the strategy they'll be looking forward to heading into the agent selection screen, which we will be doing very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't wait, and I know you are probably ready, but just in case that you are a bit tired, well, right before we go into the agent selection screen, here's the QR code. Scan it, get Red Bull delivered, and make sure you can watch all of the matches. Speaking of the matches, let's jump into it and let's go into Ascend. Agent selection is on our screens, and we can see that B2 has selected the Reyna, so double duelist is there. But Cactus, his fingers hovering over the Killjoy, so okay, perhaps not the Cypher. I could be wrong here. Whereas, what are your thoughts about what Reckoning have to offer right here? We can see the Astra, we can see the Sky. Do you think they're going for the double initiator, Kirito?
I feel like that's a possibility, and as we see,
Yeah.
I'm going with the Jet. I'm pretty sure it's locked down that they're gonna go with the double initiator, and I feel like that's a decent pick to go with. It's a tested lineup, and everybody definitely feels comfortable with it. And I believe the players that they're playing, we obviously have Sukuna on the Astro. We talked about Ainku. He's a pretty good fragger as well on the Jet. He's gonna be playing quite well as well. Yuven on this Sova is something I want to look after as well, because obviously these guys, I feel like they have played and picked the agents that are best for each of them. So I feel like this is a pretty strong agent selection for the side of Reckoning. Meanwhile, on the opposition side of FS, things are looking interesting. Cortez
Select
was
your
hovering
agent.
over that Viper. Not sure if he's gonna go for it, but I think overall he's gonna be going for the Jet in the end. We have V2 on Rain as well, so it looks like the double duelist is on the cards, and
Yeah.
overall the Killjoy, the Sova, and the Astra, not bad picks either. So a solid lineup as well. So it's gonna be the double initiators taking on the double duelists, and I don't really know which side to pick for, other than obviously maybe just based on roster. I really can't separate either of these teams. But if you think about where each of these positionings lie for the players, for the teams in the group standings, I again have to sort of go for the side of FS.
That is true. That is true. Right now, yeah, again, exactly what you talked about, double duelist. The
I'm
only
out
thing
of
I was
stuff.
wrong is no Cypher, rather Killjoy, which also
out
again
of
makes
stuff.
sense. We have seen plenty of Killjoy, we've seen plenty of
I'm out of
Cypher
stuff.
on the map of Ascent. So overall compositions are similar. The only difference is going to be the side of FS, because they've got two duelists, both Ion and B2. They can go for sorry, not Ion. That's the side of Reckoning. They can go for like plays which will help them secure more kills individually. They can peak if they would like to, and they can be individually, they can have a lot of skill. Whereas with the side of Reckoning, with a single duelist, the initiators have to make up a lot of the work. The initiators, Sova, Sky, they've got to use their flashes, their shock dots. Reckoning have got to make sure that all of the initiators are on point. As right now, we see one of the duelists. IonQ is pushing, but he loses his life a little too early. One Jet taking down the other. Bondef still on the hunt, but no, he was all by himself. No trades. And Reckoning are down to 3 members already. And Juven has also been isolated. There was no way he could have escaped from there. So before you know it, within 20 seconds, 3 members of Reckoning pushed up B main. And sadly for them, all 3 lost their lives.
Yeah, B2 as well is all the way pushed up towards the garden, but Triss is gonna get that frag onto him. He's gonna pick up the ghost as well. So it's brought down to a 2v4, still very much in favor of the side of FS. We do see the players dropping down from heaven. Chris, can they get that frag onto Cactus? No, he doesn't. But the trade, oh, it's not gonna happen either. Sukuna, was he low on HP? I'm not sure. I think he missed his shots. That's just what happened there. But the main issue about that first round, I gotta be honest, is that push coming out of B main. I feel like initially, whenever they saw with the first initial player dying, I feel like the side of Reckoning should have realized, okay, maybe this was a bad idea. Let's fall back. Let's go retreat with the 2 players that we have and try and play a more passive role. Because obviously FS, they're a team that builds up on that momentum. As soon as they get that first frag and you give away that second, they're not gonna stop. They just went in and got that last frag onto the Sova as well. So that's something that I really like from the side of FS, but I feel like the side of Reckoning could have easily avoided that. But since they didn't, this is gonna give away the buy run for the side of FS, and they're gonna be able to go for they're gonna be able to go for the Spectres. Despite that, they're playing really patiently. They're giving a lot of respect to the side of Reckoning, even though they should know that they are on pistols.
I think FS expected Reckoning to go for a push because they've just got classics and all. They must have expected them to go for like a 4-man push, but that's not happening. Reckoning are the ones playing passively. This is how they should have tried to play in the pistol round as well. They're looking to take close quarter gunfights. Bondef has been spotted and he gets taken down by Cortez, who pushes into the site. He's looking for a second. He has spotted Jiven, but there's someone to his left, and that someone takes his head off. But Cactus is still on the hunt here at the A bomb site. Away from the action, there's a different duel taking place, but it's the final duel that will happen. B2 secures the round by getting rid of the Killjoy, and FSESPORTS, with the exception of a single casualty, they win their anti-eco. Now, Reckoning can afford the guns. Now they can have rifles, full armor. They've got a full buy. FS as well, what? They are still going for the buy. You know, they've got a few Spectres. It's just Kohli who's going for the Odin. And the Odin, no. 2 Odins. What? No, oh no, this is gonna get bad. I can already see.
What's gonna happen here.
I can see this getting bad. 2 Odins. It's never good.
Yeah, it's a very common angle for the Sova main.
He's the Odin.
Who does to go for the spam though? That's really interesting. I mean, he did hear the utilities coming up. The Trailblazer giving more information. Recon goes on as well. Doesn't really spot players. Juven, he's not able to spam. That Odin, I believe, just wasn't effective. He can at least wallbang the ultimate, I believe. Yep, he's gonna be able to destroy that, but here comes the counter Odin spray and eats up so much HP from him. Meanwhile, FS, they're pushing into the site and not really moving into the site, but stuck on the main. The frags are gonna start rolling in. It's gonna be bond up with the first one, but Kohli and Cortez trades of their own. Juven not making that the Odin count. Cortez is gonna take his head off. Sukuna's gonna find one as well. The trades just keep coming, but it's a 3 versus 2 as we enter into the post plan. B2 so patient. No Sukuna's in there. Should know he's low as well from communication to his teammates. But decides not to push. Finally goes for the peek and takes him out. Swaps the friend CT as well, but INQ has the headshot. But Kohli in the end gets a trade. It was a really hectic round. I really wasn't able to keep count of what's happening, but in the end, FS, they were able to push in. I feel like the main reason Reckoning weren't able to, you know, sort of deny that end to Juven. Spending all that money on that Odin, didn't even get to spam that wall once, only was able to destroy that lockdown. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Cortez has been the most, like, his entry fragging, I'm not even going to call it entry fragging, I'm going to call it entry map control as a dive agent. Because he's got the updraft, because he's got the whirlwind and he can push up using his dash, he gets so much space thanks to the smokes from the side of Astra as well. And Bond, if he's pushing here, he spots B2, he takes a lot of HP, Twist confirms one before he's been traded off by said Odin. And right now FS, I mean, yeah, it's just upgraded Crystal's eco for the side of Reckoning. They have this one Marshal that IonQ can do a lot of damage with. He needs to click on the heads. He's got to make sure that his Aimlab is worth it, that he has done that there's a very specific task there with Ascent A main that you do with pistols. He's got to make sure he did that today morning. So, in terms of his warm-up, but right now, yeah, he's been cornered off. Everyone from FS is pushing in. They get one, they get the second, and Sukuna is left all alone with the Sheriff towards Gardens. He's looking to pop up one more head. Yes, he does. He can pick up the rifle, and he can opt to save, which is not what he's doing. He's not going for the save. I think maybe because he knows he'll have enough credits later on, but still, he's got half armor. He's got a Vandal. Doesn't need to risk it. Doesn't need to risk it. He's still going for it. He gets one headshot. That's nice. The gravity well acting on him. He has been tagged severely. Dominic is right below him. It may be Astra versus Astra very soon, but here we have B2 playing the Reina. He's got his Empress. Not going to use it right now. Just his sheer gun skill that will help him secure the round. Sukuna spots one. He gets another headshot. He's looking for the 4K. Oh, he won't. It's not going to be Sukuna all by himself who gets the 3K. B2 as well with a multi-kill round. As FSESPORTS, yeah, it was a full buy. Yes, they had rifles, but Reckoning with their upgraded pistols, they dealt a lot of damage. And B2 was the only surviving member.
Yeah, indeed they did. I feel like that if it was any other round, I would give a lot of props to Side of Reckoning to bring that to a 1v1. But look at the economy of FS. It doesn't really phase them. They can go for all rifles again. But those 4 frags from the side of Reckoning will allow them to go for buys of their own. It was a buy round anyway, so they can afford some rifles. Anku's on that operator as well, playing it on the B main. But again, he's going so aggressive, and I mean, it's been 4 rounds, and every one of these 4 rounds, this aggression hasn't really paid off, and he's gonna go for the shot here onto B main, misses that shot onto the Reina of B2, and he's gonna have to fall back. Cortez, meanwhile, pushing towards this A short area. Bondev holding him back, but he's gonna have to fall back as well because of the utility. Does destroy the swarm nade, and he has support from Trist as well. So far, they're holding on to the A side quite well. INQ has relocated to that mid area. But looks like it's FS sticking to their guns, sticking to this A site, at least for now. And a bunch of players in the A short. It's going to be really difficult to deny the entry if this A short is compromised. INQ though holding with that operator, he's going to have to play a big role. Well, look at that Sova just walking in. Kohli, he's inside. The door's closed though. So they got to have some change in plan. It looks like the change in plan involves going down mid.
Yeah, they need that mid-control at the moment, and
30
yeah,
seconds
FS have
left.
taken it. Now they can go for the pinch push onto B. There's only B2 in B main, so he's got to make sure his Leo works perfectly. However, Tris, he gets one before he's traded out. He's done his due diligence. Juven is still on the bomb side. That's the second headshot, and that will... Oh, that's the third as well. Not only does it drop the spike, that gives 3 kills to his team, and Reckoning take their first round with IonQ at the end with that operator kill. So that is great news. Reckoning, previously, they damaged the economy of FSESPORTS. Now they take their round win. This is looking on the up and up for them. They've got 3 ultimates which they can use. IonQ, he's got the operator, he's got the blade storms, he's got to perform this round as well. This time I need to see him going for the multi-kill. First it was Astra, then it was Sova on the side of Reckoning going for 3Ks. Now it's got to be the Jet because she has the best chance in this overall scenario to go for kills, and he's right here at the cusp of A main. He goes into the wine corner. Sukunon's holding the angle. Lot of utility being wasted. But right now, IonQ, he gets the kill. Can he move back? Cortez is pushing him 2 HP and he loses his life. That was just going blind into the lion's den and not recommended at all. He just utilized his ultimate, but for no reason it doesn't result in anything.
Yeah, indeed. And I believe, I mean, the last couple of rounds, I feel like there is a little bit of rejuvenation in the side of Reckoning. They did sort of ditch the over-aggressive strat and be like, okay, let's play really passively. And in the last one that they won, they started things off really aggressively, but in the end changed the pace and played really passive. That sort of threw FS away. But again, this round, the aggression this time pays off with the operator and continues to pay off as Bondev gets one more onto Cactus. 2 versus 5. Flawless would be great here, but Dominic gets one onto Bondev. Still looking pretty decent for the side of Reckoning. Dominic destroys that dart, will give away his position, as now he is rendezvousing with Kohli. They're going to be falling back. Looks like a rotation towards B is going to be happening
30
anytime soon.
seconds
But
left.
look at the positioning from the side of Reckoning. They are going to be holding their grounds on either side. They're not going to be giving away any over-aggressive information, any idea on their own positioning or the advantage that they've built up for this time. And here comes the Cosmic Divide from Dominic. They're going to be reconning the site as well. Now, all the information is there with 10 seconds left.
10
They have to push this B side. And
One
Trist is there to
enemy
deny
remaining.
that he's going to be good for
Spike
1.
down.
But Dominic gets a trade. And Juven to finish things off. The second round in favor of said Reckoning. And looks like with the economy for FS, things might be looking good for them. An equalization might be on the card as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, Reckoning are really looking good. It's going to be FS now, whose economy is in a bit of a shambles right now. They're still going to go for an upgraded semi-buy. I'm not sure. I mean, completely ecoing would have been better, but I guess, yeah, even if they lose right now, they'll still have to full buy next round. So it's better to try a bit than to completely eco. Yeah, it makes sense, kind of. Upgraded pistols, half armor, not the best when you're up against operators, but FS, they'll
Mhm.
just be looking to get kills. They don't want to win this round. They'll be going in trades, trying to get rid of the members on the side of Reckoning. There goes utility on
Placing
all
swarm
fronts.
grenade.
The Killjoy
Swarm
Storm
grenade
Grenade will
out.
also be thrown alongside Sova's darts. And yet again, we can see that Reckoning are just playing passively, using their utility to force back FS or to try and get some information. There goes the Trailblazer on A main. So they're getting the info. The Killjoy turret as well. Spots one of the members. That's going to be Cortez. Tagged him a little bit. Trist is right there with the Phantom. He sees him and he gets the headshot through the wall. So
Nice
that
shot.
is a nice early kill opening on. And that
Oh.
is the follow up using the operator. FS are looking really nice. Oh, sorry. FS aren't the ones looking really nice. It's Reckoning who's looking real good because they haven't had any casualties at all. And they've been killing their opponents left, right, and center without trades.
Yeah, Bond definitely sending that flash flying down mid is gonna gather some information. I'm pretty sure blinded should be happening, although I did not hear it. I think the voice line should have been out there, so they should know there are players up in that catwalk or mid. And considering the
30
Killjoy
seconds left.
alarm bot has not gone off in mid, they should be considering this push towards A short right now, and the utilities placement is going to be extremely vital. Here comes the flash and they're going to push in, but Bondef loses the gunfight. Sukuna's going to be pushing in as well, but loses. How does that happen?
One enemy
Anku though,
remaining.
he's going to be working on defending and getting
Looks
both
like
skill
Iris
as
is
well. What a play from him. Triple kill for the man. He's going to be successfully defending the site of A. There is support from his teammate on the opposite side, but that doesn't matter. He's holding down the fort on his own. And as you said, CCV, there's the performance from INQ. There's the multi-frag from him. He's making that operator buy count. And this is what I love to see. The operator, it's such an expensive buy. It's such an expensive investment for a team. Even if you win that round, even if you get even if you get all the frags, if the operator doesn't get a single one or a couple frags at least, I feel like it's a really wasted usage of money. But INQ, he's going to be using it to its full potential. An aggressive push again, but this time doesn't pay off. Cortez, he's going to be able to deny him any other chances in getting the frags. But the teammates are there as well. They're going to be denying entry as well. It's going to be Bondef accompanied by Yuban. They're going to be saying, no, don't enter just now. Give us some time to, just fix up the defense, encumber everything up again. And that's going to work for now. They are slowed down.
They have slowed down. There was a major utility dump right there at B main, but the attackers are still right here. There goes the final, one of the guiding lights, the flashes from the side of Bond. He's looking for the kill. He engages in a gunfight, tags Cortez a bit. Juven is also in the same angle. He spots the jet. He gets rid of him, and both teams are back on equal footings. FS, they were looking to execute. They're still going to go through with the execute. Not only that, but B2 gets the entry frag, and he gets the second as well. Side control has been taken by the attacking side. Trist is on the retake, but even he'll die by the hands of the same agent he's playing. Catches though. He's not done with it. Now, for this round, he's done, as he's done and dusted it 6 feet under in the ground. And it's all down to Sukuna. We have seen him clutch up before. He has gotten these retake kills a few times, but against rifles with 87 HP, I think it's highly unlikely. The
Crossfire.
crossfires are being maintained, and the crossfires are exactly what get him crossed off the map. So, FSESports, after losing 3 rounds, they still get back on good footing. They got the full buy. They had to eco a bit. They had to save up a few of their credits, but they're still looking nice. Reckoning have got to make sure that they don't give the early kill right now. Reckoning, yeah, they have taken the timeout. They know that they can get either a 7-5, perhaps even a 6-6 score at the end of the first half. Things are not slipping out of hand for them. They are still kind of in control, but they have to use all of their ultimates in a great manner. Ultimates in this round are going to play a major factor because almost all of the players can go for decent buys, half armor, full armor. So they've got to utilize their ults in such a way that it's not the guns that are killing their opponents, but somehow it's the ults.
Yeah, definitely. And if you look at the collection of ults they have, I feel like the passive plays or the retake idea should be the way to go for them because obviously you have the Sova ultimate, you can deny the spike plan. That means if you are successfully able to deny the spike plan, you're just buying time for your teammates, and that's going to put more pressure on the attacking side to get that spike down and get the post plant running. Meanwhile, you have the Cosmic Divide and the lockdown as well. Not only does the lockdown help out in denying entry, it also helps really much on the retake, especially on that B side. Imagine if you're able to clear out all the players outside of the B side, and then the remaining players, say there are 4 to 5 players, or sorry, not 4 to 5, maybe 3 to 4 players inside the B site. A lockdown there would be so helpful for the side of the defenders that being reckoning right now. So these ultimates, they should be coming in big. They are fragging really well. They just need to sort of diversify that strat a little bit. Their aggression, it did work out a couple of rounds, so did the passive plays. They just need to mix things up. Keep FS on their toes, keep FS confused, and keep them guessing on what's gonna come next. So far, that's when they're having the troubles. But here comes these the ultimate from the side of the attackers, that being Kohli, I believe, using up the Hunter's Fury. Doesn't find a frag though. I believe he will be tagging his counterpart Yuvin, who is playing inside the B side. And he's gonna take a decent amount of damage, but sends out the drone to gather some information. And here it comes to B main. I believe Cortez should go unnoticed. Dominic is spotted out, but they don't know there's one more player behind them. Not much information gained from that. Shock darts will do some damage, but so far, I mean, either side are pretty much, you know, lacking information from both sides. The Cactus over here, locked down on the A side. Is this fake gonna be sold? Is the question. IronQ going really aggressive inside the smoke, and oh! I think the no scope connected maybe on a leg shot. I'm not sure, but Sukuna's gonna ensure that frag. Meanwhile, the real push in that B side is gonna be going off, but looks like the really the well-placed lockdown. It's even gonna detain one player, and Trish, he's gonna push up B main as well if they don't clear this angle, which they are gonna. Doesn't matter, he's gonna get one. Dominic's gonna get a trade though, but the rotation is here. Flash is gathering information for Bondef. He's gonna go for the peak, misses the shot though. Yuvin does get a trade onto Cortez, but he's still all alone. Needs to defend this side, and defend he will against Dominic. 1 versus 3, and there is no time. Cactus, he's on the flank trying to do some eco damage, but IronQ, misses the op shot. Doesn't want to die, doesn't want to lose that operator. Didn't happen either. Both sides live. Really intense ending to that, but look at the side of Reckoning. They're gonna get one more dub, bring it to a 4 to 5 scoreline, and 1 away from equalization. And they're performing pretty well. Again, that change in strat, CCV, is definitely working out for them. And I believe they should explore that option further.
The previous round was just Reckoning, you know, outsmarting the opponents. The defender Killjoy lockdown on B, that was amazing. That just halted, absolutely stopped that execute dead in the tracks, and nothing could be done about it from the side of FS. They had to fall back. One of the players was detained. Chris then took the angle in B main and got 1 kill, further slowing down the attack because already only 15 odd seconds were remaining. But yet again, the execute, it's going to happen on B. Cortez pushes up, he closes the market door. He's still looking for the frags, and he gets the opening kill. Juven in the bomb site, he got 1 previously, he gets 1, he gets 2 yet again. Juven cannot be extinguished from this angle. However, his team unfortunately can. It's all down to Sukuna against 2 more members. The spike, it's going to be planted. He's got full arm, he's got full HP, he's got 20 bullets in the magazine right now, which he can reload. A bit of utility still remaining on the board, but it's going to come down to his gunplay and how he can find these angles, and he does! He does!
No
Oh
way.
my goodness! Cortez and Kohli, there was no need to double peek it. I get they were trying to go for the trades, but no, Sukuna just gets a freebie 2k, and Reckoning neutralize the round differential 5 to 5. Let's see that again in the instant replay. Sukuna all by himself, he clutches out that 1v2.
Yeah, he's just going for the peak here. I believe the side of the attackers, they could have gone for a jiggle and then just gather the information that, okay, Sukuna's on stairs. Let's let him push in a little bit more. Obviously, he needs to come into the site to defuse the spike and then go for a double peek from either side of the doorways in the backside region. But they just went for that double peek without any information or utility, a dry peek, and giving him that lineup. That's going to be a huge momentum boost, not only for the side of Sukuna, for the side of Reckoning as well. Look at this entry denial coming in. Cortez doesn't get anything using the Blade Storm. Again, remember, this is an eco round for FS. Easy pickings, and Sukuna gets one more. Recon dart will be blown up. He's going to send some spam shots in, but again, the lineup comes in. Bondef finding a couple of shots through the smoke. It's all on to Dominic. We did see the Astro clutching in the last round, but will this Astro clutch in this round? It's the stakes are a little bit more harder this time. The odds are definitely not very much in his favor. Last time it was a 1v2, but this time it's a 1v5. And I believe all the players should know where he is. Despite that, they're playing really patient. Okay, they're not really playing patiently. The flank is coming in. The flash should be giving information on his exact whereabouts. He's going for the peak, Dominic. but there's nothing he can do. And we're gonna see a
Yeah.
6-5 scoreline with that Reckoning getting the lead, and something we didn't really expect. Again,
Last
we
round
did
before the
say
switch.
before the start of the match that FS exploiting the weakness of their opponents. Reckoning, they weren't the best on this map, and FS, they defeated Weird Esports
let's
on
see
this
now.
map by a pretty decent
Yep.
margin. And the exact opposite's happening. I feel like the side of Reckoning, they realize the utility and the way they mix up their strats, how useful that is, and they're just
The thing is,
continuously
they've
doing
got to
that.
do that once the side swap happens, because so the side of FS, their defense is the stronghold. They have a 72.4% win rate. 72% win rate on defense. That is insane. On attack, it's a far lower 46. So if they can go for a 6-6, that would be fine for them. They've just got to make sure that they deliver via the numbers. FS, their defense is looking strong, but honestly, Reckoning can try and take this. Still, going into the defense, no one knows. I still have my money on FSESPORTS, at least on the map of Ascent. But right now, Reckoning have got solid chances to get a 7-5. There goes the Hunter's Fury from Javen. Got his yet again with the same execute, with the same entry method. He dives in. Trist is looking for the kills. The Leo blinds him, and he can't do anything about it from that area, so he's got to fall back. IonQ inside the bomb site. There are 3 members from Reckoning who are going to defend B, and they're going to defend it with their life. One of those members falls, the second falls with him, but IonQ's there. IonQ gets 1. He has been concussed. Everything is against him, and his life has been put on hold against him as well. It's still a 2 versus 2. It's going to be Sky Astra versus Astra and Reina. Both the attackers back again in boat house. We have seen this before. Sukuna got a kill before. Sukuna gets 1 yet again. It's all down to Dominic. Dominic spots 1 and he loses his life. Sukuna on the B bomb side. Yeah, he can't be stopped in retakes. He gets those kills.
There's a reason Skuno was picked for the player spotlight for the side of Reckoning Esports, and he's delivering right now. He's been getting these clutches. Again, it was a 2 versus 2, but he's the one who got the frags. He's the one who provided the information. And props to the players who were defending that B side as well. I believe it was Trist, IonQ, and Juven. Tristan and Juven did not get any frags, but again, the utilities worked out really well. IonQ with the operator bought enough time for the rotation and didn't let the 2 remaining players of FS, have a breather. That okay, we got this side. Let's plan the bomb. Let's have let's just refresh our minds and have a plan of defending this site till the spike explodes. And that, sort of aggressive playstyle caught them off guard, and we see the 7-5 scoreline coming up. And this is where it's going to be a really big test for the side of Reckoning. As you said, FS, they're far better on defense. And again, defense on Ascent is going to be a little bit easier for any team. But it's all on to Reckoning to sort of transform or, transition that performance on the attack. And starting things off, looks like to be a split push down A and B sides. 3 players are going to be on that A side. The spike as well in the hands of Juven. It's going to be going back to the B side. A rotation though. So will the rest of the players. A little bit slower, but the rotation will come nonetheless. Here comes the recon, but both players will be avoiding that goalie. That that lack of information will allow him to actually go for a peek. It's gonna be like, okay, there's nobody showing up on the recon, so let me go for jiggles of my own. And if they are able to catch him off guard, this could be a really big pick for the side of Reckoning. Oh, I believe Koi just spotted a couple of players. He's like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And he's going to be going away to the safety of the side. Meanwhile, Cactus, he's going to be pushing out through market. Does he know there's a player in log? Doesn't matter. Anku's going to eliminate him. Bondev gets a frag onto Koli, and the B side has opened up. They have no casualties. They can push in and prepare for the plant. But the thing is, here comes the flank. And oh no, the Astra goes into cosmic form, but the alarm bot does give him information. But he can't react in time. 3 versus 4. But they should know there are a couple of players in flank.
Yeah, that's the thing. They know about the information about FS members. They have spotted him visually as well with the help of the Owl drone. IonQ engaging in gunfights, but there are plenty of teammates to back him up as well. He loses his life. It's back to a 3 versus 3. But time is running out for FS, and they're losing the HP left, right, and center. Cortez pushing up this alley, pushing up the lane. He gets 1 more. Okay, Reckoning are only down to 1. But time, is there enough time? Yes, someone's on the diffuser. Oh, Juven gets 1. Can he get the second? No. Is there enough time to defuse the spike right now? That is the question. FSESPORTS, they get the retake. 3 versus 5 turned into a 2 versus 0. Only a single member dying, and an overall, what a retake it was, just purely based on kills. and Reckoning are taking a very major decision right now by going for the force buy. And yeah, they're not going to go for the eco. It's going to be a force buy. Either this works brilliantly for them, or this can be their undoing. They still have another round which they can, which they have the lead for. But if they lose this, yeah, then I don't see a lot of positives for Reckoning for the next couple of rounds because the economy will be in shambles.
Yeah, definitely. This is a make or break decision that they have taken, and I completely understand where they're coming from. They are, trying to maintain the lead that they've worked so hard to gain, and trying to keep the momentum in their favor. And these weapons will definitely help them in doing so. And so far, it's not really paying off. As B2 and Dominic are gonna get some frags and denying the entry. INQ 24 HP in the smoke. Oh, Cortez runs into him. He's gonna get the frag onto him, but Dominic with a quick trade. Kohli, he's on the flank, spots the head, but they spot each other out. Low HP, despite that, Tris gets a frag onto Kohli, but Cactus with the trade onto Sakuna, and it's all on Trist. He's 26 HP, he's on the rotation. I believe getting the spike down will be the best of options. He's going to be slowing down as he approaches the B main. Again, 26 HP spots B2. Does B2 spot him? I believe he did. The Cosmic Stars being placed there. Oh! And there we go, B2 with the Vandal. Getting the frag in there, and he's gonna be denying any chance RG have in planting that spike. So yeah, there we go. It was a big decision taken by Reckoning. It doesn't really pay off.
No.
Yeah, they did some damage, but overall I don't feel like it mattered too much to FS, considering now that Reckoning are on a bad eco. So even if they go for Spectres, that's still an advantage towards them.
Still
The
good.
question
Yeah,
is,
the economy is still fine.
yeah, they're still fine. They can still even go for Vandals if they want to, but they're just going to be sticking with Spectres. So yeah, FS, they're going to be happy with being able to deny that fourth by round. But let's see what the side of Reckoning have on this eco. No armor. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, that's the thing that right now for the side of FS, I mean, things are looking plain and simple for them. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen majorly. They can engage in gunfights whenever they want. Look at Cactus pushing up the main. He spots plenty of members. He gets one kill before he's been traded out. Ion, he knows someone else is there. I'm not completely sure if he knows it was Kohli or it was someone else. But still, for the side of FS, they're just holding their forte, letting Reckoning do the work, because they know no matter what sort of execution Reckoning try, they can shut it down plain and simple because of the gun disparity. So Reckoning Esports right now, all the pressure on them. The spike, well, it is traveling back. It is relocating from B main, going towards attacker spawn. Now it seems to be an A execute, as it's going to be all alone with Ion right now. And Ion, okay, he goes on B main. So it's going to be a B push. Juven right now, he's just preparing for the push, trying to spot someone, because the actual execute is gonna happen on A. And Kohli has pushed up. Juven falls back. So pretty much soon. Dominic, he sees one of the members. He spots Bond. His teammate is there for the aid. Dominic gets one kill. Oh no, he can't get the second, but B2 is right there, and B2 is Vandal. Well, it is no match for the Sheriffs that Reckoning have. They don't have a lot of time. Kohli from behind. Yep, one Sova gets rid of another, and we can see the quick time running out. It's a good thing Ion has planted the spike. That's an extra economic boost. But can he stay alive? Chances are likely no.
8 HP, picking up the Marshal, missing the shots left, right, and center. I believe if he was able to get one headshot with the Sheriff, he'd have the ulti, and maybe using up that ulti, he could have created a chance for himself. But yeah, it's gonna be the round going for the side of FS, and they're gonna be able to get that lead up again to an 8-7 scoreline. Again, it's still very much an option for the side of Reckoning to go for that equalization, because this is their buy round. As we can see, they're going for the Vandals. So are FS, but again, not on the same level as Reckoning. We can see all 5 of the players attempting to go for the Rebels. I'm even going for an operator, or no, he's gonna be going back to the Phantom. But yeah, FS, they only have a couple of rifles. Cortez does pick up the operator. That's a really big investment, as I like to say. And I believe this is Reckoning. As soon as they discover that an operator is in play, they should try their best to either steer clear of it or try to get it off their hands as soon as possible. Because again, FS, they are at an advantage. They are at a lead, but their economy isn't the same. It's still very much in a danger zone, as I like to call it. But here comes the flash out of Bond Dev. That's going to push a couple of players back, but at least this information that the sky is here. Silverdome comes out to be main. I'm not sure who it spotted, but I believe it spotted the player behind the little cottage. It's the sky where Bond Dev is standing. Because the pings did go out there, but here comes the counters over drone. You've not really spawning anybody down mid, but what? I mean, time is ticking away. They still have about 50 seconds left to go, but
Yeah, where did they
what decision are they going?
want to
Where are they
execute?
going?
That's the thing. The spike is in A. The majority of the members are in B. Are they planning like a mid to A kind of take with that smoke, with that astral smoke, and they're just going for the fake on B? That seems like the thing. They're just using their utility on B, but again, nothing has happened. No casualties. This is good for FS because as a defender, you can waste as much time as possible. Dominic's still looking for visual cues. He doesn't find any.
30 seconds
Now,
left.
everyone is ready from Reckoning to execute, but is the execution going to work, or is the utility going to be used against them? Dominic is ready. He's got the Spectre. He has to play close quarter. There goes the Killjoy. He spots him. Cactus has to fall back though. Dominic though, he loses his life. Ayanku gets the opening kill. Cortez is there. Dominic, he lost his life, but his teammate
10
is
seconds
to the
left.
aid. Cortez with one
Spike
more.
down
However,
A.
Reckoning are putting on the pressure. They just have to plant the spike. They will be able to. B2 is right in the garden. B2 is pushing through in the bomb side. Can he get one? Or is it going to be
enemy
Triss
remaining.
who gets his kill? No, it's Bondef who gets that. And Cactus all by himself. He has to isolate the gunfights. However, it's going to be the Sky from Reckoning. So FS Esports, they wasted a lot of time. Reckoning used all the time in the world to execute, and the execute did work.
It was looking really, really fishy there for me a second because I'm not really sure where they're planning to go and what their game. They had no map control. They didn't find any opening picks, and if you're in that situation, it gets really confusing on what you want to do. And I believe, as I said, Reckoning, they did send some utility in B main, and then they decided to full push to that A site. A really good flank from Trist. He didn't really get any frags, but if any of the players did go unaccounted, he would possibly probably be there to clean things up. But again, FS this time with the aggression. They are gonna go for some buys. It is quite messy, but Bondef, can he find the cover? Oh, Kohli with the headshot. That's spray transfer. Cortez is 2 HP. He has to fall back. No way he's getting a heal. Solid Dominic to hold on, but he gets the lineup of his own. Can he get a triple kill? He doesn't. Sukuna gets a trade. It's gonna be a 3 versus 2. Still very much in favor of either side. Where's the spike though? I have no idea. As B2 gets a frag on Sukuna.
It's an attacker spawn.
Cortez.
Why is this
wait,
spike an attacker spawn? Why?
Oh, Tracy
Okay,
needs to
Reckoning
get
are
the
still going to push.
frag here. Oh, it doesn't.
I got the spike.
No way.
No.
No. Bondef, what's he gonna do? 26 HP. And FS, they're gonna be playing this smartly. They realized, okay, they're both not in the best of scenario. One is low on HP, and they have no idea where Bondef is, so they're just gonna let him plan. It's fine. It's dandy, and they can play the retake together. Blaze
Yeah.
are out as well.
That's the spike messed it up so bad because had the spike been there, it would have been a 2 versus 2 post clone. I get 2 versus 2 is still like a 50-50 or
seconds
something, but this is worse. Good. He's not planted the spike in A. No. Oh no, this is just miscommunication. No one knows what's going on. The defenders are all in B. He's trying to find them, but the best strategy would be to just plant the spike and then play a post plant. Try to waste time. He's got 14 seconds. He will plant the spike, but this has given enough
10
time for
seconds
FS to
left.
realize that okay, if he's not in B, he's going to obviously be in A
Spike
if he's looking to
planted.
try and win this round in that 1v2 scenario. Spike has been planted. FS have the info. They're going to stay together. They just cannot do that collateral thing that happened a few rounds ago. Bondef, he's already gotten like 2 kills this round on 26 HP. So it's not the best case scenario for him. However, a few blitzes, all that matters. Cortez is on 2. He's on 26. So he's got to play a very close angle. There goes the Leo from B2. B2 has got to be the one who's on the aggression right here. Bondef peeks and he gets the kill again, isolating the gunfight. He can fall back even more. There's the half defuse. B2's going for it. And he goes for it. Can he get the kill? B2 gets the kill as well. The savior that FS Esports were looking for. The person who puts the name of FS in front and gets the 9-8 lead. It's going to be B2.
Indeed. I mean, oh, that was such a winnable scenario for the side of Reckoning as well. Again, as you said, the spike, if it was with them, maybe they could have planted on B. And if they got a couple of frags on that A side, especially that collateral coming out from Dominic before dying, I believe if he only got one, if he got traded out early on, the whole round could have gone different. The whole round could have gone so many ways. It's like one of those multiple choice questions. It could have gone for any answer, but you don't know what it
remind me
is.
of that, Kirito, please.
I know we all have bad memories of that, and the ones who suffer
I have
from
bad
that
present.
memory.
I have yesterday bad presents.
Oh, yesterday
Memories.
I have future, my friend. 10 days away, I'm gonna have nightmares. But It doesn't really matter. What matters is the side of Reckoning. They're the ones suffering nightmares
Yeah.
now. If only they had picked up the spike. If only they had gotten the frag onto Dominic before he got a couple of more, things could have gone so much differently, and they would have been able to have the lead right now. And not only that, they could have broken the economy of FS, and they could have gone for their own buys. That would have given them the opportunity to extend that lead. But now, this is definitely not the scenario they wanted to be in. Still, it's very much close. It's 8-9, only one round separating these two. Obviously, they're gonna have to save, so that does suggest that an 8-10 is on the way in favor of FS. But then they have to make these buy rounds count. They have to sort of play on the rotations like they did again. FS, they definitely get confused on sort of the mind games, the mind tricks that the side of Reckoning play. They push that B main. It looks very messy for me. It looks very inconsistent, but for some reason it's working on the side of FS, and they're falling for these fakes. So if the side of Reckoning can pull off a couple of really good fakes, at least even in this save round, if they get the spike down, if they take down, I don't know, 3 players, it's still progress for them. And I believe these players know that, and that's what their target is in this round. So hopefully that's going to happen, but there is a technical issue. The technical pause has happened, so we're going to be waiting for that to get unpaused. In the meantime, CCV, if you're,
Yeah.
say, a coach for the Reckoning right now, what would you tell the players? What would you say, like, okay, guys, this is the game plan? How would you calm them down and get
The
them to play their
first
best?
thing would be to make sure don't make silly mistakes. Like have your bases covered, have that foundation built, like we said, have the trust. A good example of that is when the spike. So many times this happens. I know it happens in the heat of the moment. Players forget, pick up the spike and all. But that round was really should not have been taken by FS. First of all, Dominic in the bomb side, he got that double kill, and even then the B side control was there with the side of Reckoning. But then Trist seemed to push towards defender spawn. He spotted 2 members of FS, but even he couldn't get that kill. So with that being said and done, Reckoning have got to make sure they don't make silly mistakes. They don't give individual gunfights. I know in that scenario, Trist could have gotten like hungry for kills. He could have been like, okay, I can catch FS off guard. I can get one easy kill and no one can trade me. But that just did not work out like that. So they've got to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. They're covered on their bases and they make sure that everything is looking fine for them. Then strategy wise, whatever happens, you can look forward to it. At this point, you just have got to make sure you don't get any errors. You don't create any errors for your team, because that means more trouble later down the road. And now, well, Reckoning, they seem like they've got a nice push. They've got everything ready. They're going for the split push. IonQ is right there. There's someone to his extreme left. Kohli goes for the recon bolt. IonQ is peeking. His crossing not right there. And Cactus, he peeked a little too wide and he lost his life. B2 towards defender spawn. He's still watching market. Kohli has to fall back even more. He's getting tagged. He's getting shrouded from so many angles. His Odin has got to work just in the nick of time for his teammates to arrive. His teammates do arrive. He gets one before dying. The spike has still not been planted, so FS have more time to go for the retake. But now they have to fall back more because the Killjoy lockdown. Yeah.
They're gonna be holding on to this though. They're gonna stay inside this for as much time as they can. B2 trying to get some frags, but he's gonna die doing that. Bring it to a 2 versus 2 as we see Cortez getting one more frag. One more might happen on Dominic. He's gonna get one onto Bondef. 1 versus 2. All onto Juven with the Odin. Realizes Cortez, he's above. Here comes the concussions. But Cortez playing so patiently. Oh god, this is so intense. Left. Dominic's gonna be on market. As soon as Dominic spots him out, Cortez can go for a peek if he wants to, and that's what's gonna happen. Misses the shot though. With 20 seconds left on the clock, he's gonna go for the plant, and I believe they realize where he is. Here comes the rotation. Well, push him back. Wallbangs won't connect. He's 28 HP and vulnerable.
6 bullets.
Still, yeah, they don't push him.
I mean,
he's
they don't
gonna be able
have
to reload
to,
though.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds on the clock. He still hasn't planted the spike. Oh, I just realized he didn't plant the spike. Really good denial, and he's gonna get a 1 frag. Can he get a 2 as well? Odin, spam away, misses, and time's gonna run away.
Oh my god.
Dominic barely takes any damage. Can he get the frag at least? No.
Huh?
Oh,
He
he takes up the operator.
gets the off. Like, oh my god.
These rounds, I don't know what's happening.
That was the most intense, but again, economically still good for Reckoning. You know, they had a lot of casualties on the side of FSE Sports. Yeah, it was a 1v1 towards the end, but Reckoning thereby wasn't as good as what FS had invested their credits in. And now it's going to be Reckoning who can go for the full buy. Look at that. Now they are the ones with the Operator Odin rifles. Meanwhile, FS, they have to compromise a bit with Spectres and half armor on a few of the players here and there. So economically Reckoning are good, but they still have to prove it using those guns to go for the kill. Scott is now in the gravity well. He was just almost shrouded for a second. There goes the spam fire yet again. Kohli's trying his best. Trist pushes up. And the thing is, Kohli's all alone in the B bomb side. There's no one to his aid right now. Only now this does Cactus come up from market. And only now can he hold the angles as well. But still, Reckoning are ready for the execution. There goes the guiding light. There go the entry kills.
Oh, Kohli with the first frag on the pitch. He's gonna be spamming away. Spams will come in as well, but Cactus is gonna peek and get a couple of trades. Juven with the double kill of his own. The Odin finally making itself count. Cortez, Operator versus Operator showdown over here. Who's gonna find who? They're both holding the same angle. The smokes are gonna be traded. Can we see some blind shots coming in? We will, but misses. Reduce on the flank as well. I'm not sure if they know this. Drone will spot out the player on CT and the Cosmic Divide as well, trying to help on defending this site. Sakuna, they're all gonna be holding on these postmen. They know that every single one of these players are in the site, so and really smart execution work out in the favor. But here comes the counter lockdown. That's gonna be blocking off the boathouse. As one wall drops, the other one starts to jump. But Sakuna, does he go aggressive? He's gonna be standing still as the bullet penetrates his body. He's not gonna be phased. But FD2 all onto him. Gets one, gets the second, but Juven from behind. The Odin gets a shot in. Can he pick up the Operator? He will. And that's going to be a pretty big round for the side of Reckoning. It's too close to call, CC. I don't know. Even if the side of Reckoning win this, they lost 4 players. And they can go for buys. Some armor will be, sacrificed. Bondef, he's going to have to get a drop somewhere, I believe. And FS, they're going to be going for an eco. So here's their opportunity, Reckoning. You have to utilize this to your best to get that equalization. And keep the momentum going. Build up that hype for yourself to get that 11th and after this round. Can they do it is the question.
That's the thing. Can they do it? Because right now, you're again to the side of FS, not the strongest of buys. 10-10 can certainly is certainly looking like the major scoreline and the more rational scoreline that we can see on the board. But yeah, we have seen thrifty rounds before. Who knows what can happen? We have seen so many unpredictable rounds, and what seemed like an easy win for the side of FS is going to be a very difficult 10-10, something that they'll have to cope with later on. They want to go for kills. FS can't seem to go without kills, and this is a great one. The Operator has been robbed. Either they can try and retrieve it, they can focus all of their resources on getting the op, or they're just looking for more kills. Here we go. Kohli has been spotted. He falls back. Cactus is also there in market. The execution will still take a bit of time because the spike has to travel all the way from attacker spawn towards B. But Reckoning, they are ready to execute now.
And Reckoning, I believe they should realize that this is another eco round. But again, they're playing really slowly. They're giving them the respect. And FS, Cactus, he's gonna realize that, okay, I don't have the best offense, so I should push up early and hold a position where this shorty will work the best. But here comes the ultimate. Cactus is gonna be pushing in, but loses the gunfight. Prince is gonna get that back. Kohli trying to get something happen. He's gonna damage some players. That's the best he can do. But Bondev's gonna get the trade. It's all on to Cortez and Dominic. Cortez, just pick up that Operator. I believe a save would not be a bad idea here, CCP, because they will have buys regardless. And Cortez, he has an Operator. So if he saves that Operator, not only will he have a weapon for himself, he can also buy one of his teammates, which wouldn't be bad at all. I believe Dominic is trying to find some eco frags. I believe information has been relayed that Bondef should be on low HP, so I believe they are on the hunt for him. But I believe also that losing one player's life on that endeavor isn't going to be the best idea. But yeah, looks like Dominic's the one who's going to be trying to get a frag, one exit frag at least. The Operator is going to be saved by Cortez, and he's under a lot of pressure here, and he's going to die. That's not the best choice, but look at this position from Cortez. Misses the shot, and they realize that, okay, maybe we shouldn't go for that peak. Maybe we don't want to give away our lives.
Oh, they are? I think they are. Oh, they've stopped. Okay.
It's a 50-50 choice either way. You take away that Operator, great for you, but if you, on the process of taking that Operator away, you lose maybe one player, that's going to be big as well, and big for the side of FS. So what do you go for? And they take the safer option, not going for the peaks, and that's going to be allowing them to keep more weapons. but so will FS. This is their buy round, and that economy, that save is going to be showing itself right now as we see Cortez with that operator and the rest of the players. They're going to have rifles as well. Kohli with an Odin. So it's going to be a pretty intense gun round here.
Is going to be a very influential one. Ultimates as well, not a lot. Both teams have their Hunter's Fury. FS have got the lockdown as well that they can use for retakes. I think FS are going to play for the retake right now. They've got Hunter's Fury. They've got the Killjoy lockdown. They can try for something like that. They've got to make sure that, yeah, their retake can be successful. But they can also go for opening kills. Speaking of course, Cortez is just holding that angle alongside Cactus towards mid. He's just watching that link area towards B lobby. And yeah, Trist isn't going to be peeking that, so that's fine. Reckoning are ready for the execution. They're pushing some more utility. They're throwing a bit of utility towards the A bomb side, trying to get info, but still nothing as of yet. We've seen 40 seconds into the action phase, and not a lot has happened. No casualties. Not a lot of info as well. Reckoning don't know what they'll be heading into. They don't know how many members and the angles that they'll be holding on the A bomb side. Cortez is right here with the op. So Reckoning have a very tough choice to make. Do they continue with the A push? Looks like that. Yeah, Sukuna is going to go for the Astral Stars. He's going to activate them as well. And with 30 seconds remaining, it's going to be Operator versus Operator. Cortez is ready. He spots one and he loses his life. Bondef gets the headshot. Dominic is there for the reply back and he gets 2 headshots. This is great for the side of Reckoning right now because they have side control. Dominic, they just have to evacuate him. They just have to kill him. But he can stay alive. That's another headshot. Can get number 4. He misses and he loses his life. 11 seconds on the clock. And there goes the Killjoy lockdown. I think FSESports may just have this for them.
Unless Kohli needs to die here for them to win, and he will. They can destroy the lockdown quite easily, but a Cactus, he's going to be baiting that out, but they're going to be in security. They're going to be behind the wall, playing safely, and Cactus spots both of them are, he saw the cape of the Astro, so he should know both players are here, but they should play off the double peaks, and double peaks come in. Sukuna is going to get that frag, and beautifully played from the side of Reckoning Esports. And I'm gonna be honest, it looked a bit hairy there, if I'm being honest. Dominic, he looked like such a dangerous force to be reckoned with. Getting that double kill, I mean, he's getting those lineups this whole match, and those have been, I mean, if not winning the round, at least creating pressure for the side of Reckoning. And I mean, you were saying that obviously advantage goes towards Reckoning. They had side control, but Dominic, though, he got the frag onto the kill. If he got one more, the whole table's gonna be flipped. And we'll never know what's gonna happen, but for now, Reckoning are going to be managing to be able to retain the lead. Not only that, I believe match point is on the table here for them, because FS economy isn't looking good. They have one Phantom and a Spectre to work with. B2 on a Marshall, a pretty decent weapon as well. Cactus, he's going a bit aggressive over here. A little bit too much for my taste, but I believe 12-10 on paper should be guaranteed.
I think, yeah, the map that was supposed to be for FS, well, Reckoning may just have a significant advantage right now in going to Haven. No one really knows what's gonna happen at the moment. FS have a lot of work to do. This may just be another point that Reckoning are looking for. There goes the Hunter's Fury. Cactus evades it pretty nicely and still stays alive. So utilities are being used up. Ultimates are being used up. Cortez takes the engagement. Sheriff versus the Vandal. And it's going to be the Vandal that takes the headshot. So good for Bondef. He still has a full HP. Dominic is right here towards A main. He's the one who's got the rifle. Ayanchu is pushing. Dominic needs to perform. He gets one. He gets two. Yet again, Dominic just gets these plays. He spots another person. It's going to be B2 getting the headshot. And before you know it, it's Reckoning, whose location is known, who can't push any through, who are on the backstab by Cactus. Exactly, this flank, this backstab can work. But before you know it, B2 by himself from the major bomb side gets the kill. And Cactus finishes things off. A thrifty round win for FS. How have they managed to do
all
that?
the guns. Oh my god, that is huge. I have no idea what's happening over here. Dominic, I'm telling you, these shots that he gets, he's not top fragging. 18-15. He's got 15 assists. He's a support player, man. But the frags he's getting, they're so impactful. The lineups, he's getting 2 frags every round. And I gotta say, Reckoning, you're giving these frags away. You need to get that man traded. You need to make sure he dies and he doesn't get more than 1 frag each round, because that is boosting up the morale for the side of FS. As soon as we see Dominic getting 1 frag, the rest of the team chimes in, the rotation comes in, and they're able to play off that rotation really beautifully. But
Oh,
so far, it's going to be
oh.
11-11 shock dart is damage. Oh, but here comes
Oh my
INQ
God.
from the window. It's been a while since I've seen that play happening. And he's going to be updrafting into the side. He's going to be holding on to market. Oh, B2, 1 HP.
He has to heal himself. Gotta
He
heal
has to
himself.
get a frag. He has to get a frag. I'm not sure who he's going to get it from. All the players are still looking alive. They're still looking strong. INQ with a Blade Storm. He's not spotted out as Cactus gets the opening frag. Oh, but INQ gets one, gets two. There's one more player behind him. He doesn't flick in time. It's going to be Dominic getting the trade, but it's a 2 versus 3. Still advantage for the side of Reckoning. Match point is on the card here. Still, FS, they need to do as much as damage as they can to the economy, because right now with their economy match point, they want to play it with the best weapons and making sure the side of Reckoning don't have the weapons. So they need to make sure they take out at least a couple of players out of this equation. Here comes the recon spotting out both players, flashing out. They're not going to the weakest. Bonder gets the first back, Cactus gets one, doesn't get the second as Yuven gets a trade onto him, and the round is won by the attackers. Reckoning match point. But oh no, the spike!
Match point.
Oh, did it
Oh, it
affect?
killed-
Okay,
oh.
no, it's huge. That is huge.
Absolutely, yeah. Right now, you know that I can't even say again. The economy heading into the final round of regulation. We may go into overtime, or Reckoning may just get the first map of this best of 3. All the pressure on these 10 players right now. They have to perform the best of their capabilities. They've got to make sure that their aim is crisp. As all of you watching, you know, you can also get the best of peripherals from our accessories partner, Cosmic Byte, to get the best mouse and keyboard combination. So you make sure that your movement and your aim never falters. Right now, Cactus, he cannot falter. He's got to push through. He's holding a very direct angle.
Oh,
He
he
spots one.
falters.
He loses his
He
life.
falters.
Dominic as well falls. Dominic, the person who was supposed to be the
All
savior
crumbling apart.
on FS, exactly, they are crumbling apart. Reckoning Esports, they may just take their opponent's map. 13-11, they have to plant the spike. They've got plenty of time.
Spike
5
planted.
versus 2 scenario. Still operating in Odin and Flame. I'm not gonna count his weapons out just yet. Cortez even has a Blaze Stone popped out. He knows it's the last round, so he has to go for it. Sukuna, though, inside the smoke. He's low on HP. One knife to the body should kill him, apparently, I believe, but he's gonna be playing really patiently, not really giving any information. Here comes the flashes, will reveal players on heaven. But oh no, Sukuna, he went into Aspen form. He was blinded as well. Cortez going out. Bondev gets the trade, so does INQ, but Cortez is just running and gunning. He was all alone, but Bondev lands the headshot. And what a way to finish things off. It's gonna be the side of Reckoning Esports winning it, and what a close one, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be 13-11. What a way to kick things off on the first match. My blood's pumping. I'm not sure about you guys on the chat, but if you're not feeling this
Absolutely.
matchup, I don't know what's gonna make you feel anything.
The bottom tier team right now, the team at the bottom of the table, just defeated the second position team 13-11. It was a close encounter.
On a
But
map
again,
they're good
Reckoning.
at.
Exactly, on a map that the second team chose, on a map that FSESPORTS chose for themselves because they knew that Reckoning could lose here. But no, Reckoning proved them wrong, and they proved everyone wrong with that. So absolutely dominating performance from there, and it was very close to call. However, everyone at the Reckoning bootcamp will be certainly very happy with themselves, knowing how big this win and how much this win matters for their side. I know still they're facing relegation. It's not going to be improved anytime soon, but it's these small victories that will matter towards the end. The next time we'll see them in season 4, and we still have plenty of time to see them. They still have a few more matches and another map, possibly 2 more maps coming in front of us. However, those 2 maps will take place later on. Right now, let's go over the highlights of this very map. Let's go over all 24 rounds that we witnessed, and let's see the best plays made from all 10 of these players, because everyone just shined brightly in their own way, starting from round number 1.
Indeed, it was such a close matchup overall. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, things looked really, really weird for the start of Reckoning Esports, because they were being a little bit over aggressive. They were giving away these frags, and FS, they're looking really comfortable as we expected. But then, instead of Reckoning, they were like, okay, let's slow things down. Let's mix things up. And that's exactly what they did. They played passively for a couple of rounds, and then they continued the aggression. INQ, he aggressively peeked with the operator. It didn't pay off maybe 40% of the time, but the rest 60%, oh boy, did it pay off. It definitely got the impact frags for his team, and he was definitely able to, make an investment with the operator that made itself really profitable. And they're going to be pretty much happy with that defensive round. They got the lead. They were able to carry it on to the next round. But then came the side then came the side of FS. They were able to turn things around for a little bit. They brought it to equalization. Then it was just a game of left and right. One's taking the lead, one's retaining the lead, one's gaining a little bit of a round, and one's going to just out of nowhere win an eco round and then destroy the economy of their opponents and build up to another equalization. But in the end, Reckoning, I gotta say, they impressed me, and I'm gonna be looking at this whole match really differently right now. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but I'm being honest. I'm definitely gonna be a little bit more aware of these players, especially some of the support players as well. I gotta give props to the rest of the players from Reckoning, Trist, especially Bondef. They all played really well on
Yeah.
their agents, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. So initially, we sort of expected the next map to be a little bit in their favor, but now with the winning on Ascent, momentum will definitely be shifting, and I feel like the side of Reckoning will be willing to carry that momentum on. They want to get back on the server as quick as possible. That they want to continue the blood pump. They want to continue the pressure in. So they're definitely feeling
Exactly.
themselves. But again, if you're a fan of FS right now, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You still put up a really decent fight. Although, be it, we expected this map to go very differently, but still, it was a close one. They were able to bring it really, really down to the wire. So, overall, if this was the first map, I don't know what to expect for the second one, if I'm being honest.
That's the thing, because so many things will change right now. Reckoning have realized that they can give the defeat to FS Esports. The only other team to have defeated FS Esports in a best of three was Velocity, and now it can be Reckoning from the bottom of the table. So this is a major mental boost to them. Like you mentioned, like the mentality will be completely different. They'll be so confident with themselves. And looking at their performances as well, we'll have a look at the scoreboard. We'll have a look at every single player and how they perform, the individualistic, kills, deaths, KDAs, and all that. It was just insane to witness. Look at IonQ. 23 kills, average combat score of 251. Yeah, no one else in this entire server has been able to reach 250, and here he's sitting at 251. Bondef as well, he was having a slow start, I'm not gonna lie. In the initial few rounds, he only had like 3-4 kills, but after that, he popped off. I mean, he got 20 kills, the second highest for his team. And even looking at the side of FS Esports, yeah, we can see that everyone performed nicely. B2 had plenty of kills. You also had Dominic. So yeah, Bondef and Dominic, though they may not have been playing like duelists and all, supporting wise, they still gave such a great performance, getting those influential kills time and time again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I'm seeing the MVP counter over here, and it looks like it says B2 there. But in my mind, I feel like Dominic played a much better role, and the impact frags he got, the way he played the Astra, and that's what we were talking about early on before the matchup. That this guy on the Astra is inspirational. Just looking at him, I want to pick up the Astra and I want to try some of these lineups, try some of these utilities that he's playing with, and let's see if I can pull something off like that. Maybe, probably not, but again, Dominic. He's playing really well right now, and I'm hoping that he continues this form onto the next map and the rest of the players as well. We obviously see the rest of the players like Cactus from the side of FS. We had Bondef as well. They weren't fragging, but every single one of these players, they played their role beautifully. They used their utilities perfectly. They played the role they were supposed to. The initiator did the initiation. The sentinel was able to defend the side. The controller, confused the players. Everything went according to plan for either side, but in the end, it was just the side of Reckoning to pull things through. But with that being said, we're gonna go into a short break. Do you have anything to say to hype up the second map before we go into the break, CCB?
I think the players and the viewers more so are going to hype up themselves after 13-11. Yeah, support and love for these teams is going to be running wild. So if you are a fan of FSC Sports or a fan of Reckoning, well, you can extend your love even more. You can support your teams financially by using the discount code when you buy the Esports Club Gauntlet jersey, and you can get a customized name and number for yourself. So again, you can rep the Gauntlet jersey, you can be like the teams, and you can also perform knowing that you have the drip required necessary to reach Radiant. But for now, these players, they'll be reaching a destination to take a small break. All of us will as well. So let's take a breather and we'll be back for map number 2, Haven. But for now, we'll go offline, enjoy the ads, and we'll be right back.
from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
And hello, guys. Welcome back to the LG Ultragear presents Tech Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Crucial Apparel. Partner is 656. Accessories partner is Cosmic Byte, and Esports partner is Aimlabs. We're back with a Group A matchup between Reckoning Esports and FSESPORTS. It's me, Kirito. It's me, Kirito, again alongside CCV, and we are going
Yeah.
to be going to the map number 2 on Haven. And after map 1, I'm not really sure what to expect, as we said. I mean, let's just take a look at the scoreline again. What the scoreline was, it was really close, 13-11, and it's fine being close. I don't really mind that. What I am really, brainstorming about is that the fact that the side of Reckoning were able to take that map, and they look good while doing it as well. It wasn't the most dominant of matches, but the performance, especially in the middle stages to the end, was really good, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Yeah, Reckoning were always going to be a step ahead. They were winning their duels more so than the members of FS. I'm not saying FS didn't win. Yeah, only by the slightest of margins were Reckoning ahead with the gunfights that they were taking and the amount of kills they were getting for themselves. That was the major differentiating factor, because honestly, the slimmest of margins differentiate these teams. You can have a look at the scoreline, and the scoreline is a perfect indication of how map number 1 went. 13-11. It quite literally came down to the last round. Round 24. It could have gone either way. We could have been in overtime, and from then on, God knows what could have happened. However, Reckoning shut it down before OT was a possible option. So they have map number 1 with them. They are going to go in their own choice of Haven. Now, is this another one of those best of threes that is plagued by the formula where the teams, they don't win their own map choice, they win their opponents, and then we go to a decider? I don't know what to expect in Haven. I'm trying to think of so many things, like a rational solution as to what Haven may bring, but honestly, nothing can happen. The only way we can see what happens is Haven is going to be, well, seeing Haven itself. So let's go into the agent selection screen, Kirito. I can't wait for it. I'm sure no anyone else can't wait for it as well. Everyone who wants to see this match take place, everyone wants to see map number 2 and Reckoning. Oh, they are ready. They have confirmed all of their agents. We are going to see a double initiator pick yet again from their side. So their composition is not changing at all. For the side of FS Esports, yeah, things are looking similar. With the B2 is now on the Killjoy, the Sentinel, instead of the duelist Reyna. Quite interesting.
Yeah, both of the sides are going to be going for pretty much the same lineup, if it's not identical. We
Yes,
do see the
same.
double initiator lineups coming in, and both sides are going with the Sova and the Sky. Again, I love this composition because obviously, as I said in the prior map, that both the Sova and the Sky provide a lot of information for the team, and it's it's a bit situational as well, but it's very diverse as well. Like when you're let's say you're on defending and you're 30 seconds left on the clock, you don't know where the opponents are. Maybe they showed signs on all the sites and then they cut off all noise. They've tried and fake rotation. You don't know where they are, and on 30 seconds mark, you send out a flash and it says blinded as soon as it explodes. So now you know that they have to be pushing the site you're on because there's no time. They have to be going where they are, and then with the few milliseconds you have, you can at least prepare yourself and prepare your teammates for that push that is upcoming right now. And that's the level of information that these two can provide. Other than that, both sides are again going for the Astra and Killjoy on defense. If you're able to, have that proper coordination between these two, which I believe from the side of FS, B2 and Dominic, they can pull it off. B2 was obviously on the rain on the first map, but again, he has that ability to play as a team player, so I'm expecting big things from him as well. Same for the side of the opposition, but we kick things off in the first person. On attack is Reckoning Esports, so barely dodging that shock dart, but Bondef first frag on Dominic as the execution that we see that's happening. There is still Cactus in the backside who is unable to run away as Iron gets the frag.
3
The
assists.
post plant will begin. Oh, Trist, not the best position for the turret. I believe he wanted to
Spike planted.
place a turret above on the box, but he's gonna have to settle for that. 3 versus 5 retake scenario FS.
Yeah, the thing is, again, this one's going to be very difficult, but we have seen them go for these 3v5 retakes. We saw it once on Ascent. It can try and happen again. Only the thing is, in this case, Reckoning are still applying the pressure. Here's Bond F 17 HP. Cortez is pushing him Sky versus Sky, and it's going to be Cortez who wins the duel. However, now he finds himself alone. So many angles to peek, so many people to check for. There's one in Garage. Oh, that's going to be positioning. Ion Q will be repositioning all over from the defender spawn. Cortez, so many angles. And yeah, just unfortunate. A massacre down into B lane. And Reckoning, they win the pistol round. Their execute was looking strong. Post run got a bit dicey. I really liked what Bondef did with that Sky Flash with the guiding light. And he got rid of his opposing Sky, which was Cortez. But after that, just wasn't able to capitalize a bit more. Cortez tried so much, it just wasn't possible. And Reckoning, they took the win, and they can go for the anti-eco, where Bondef is actually going to go for the Vandal half armor. That's a bold play. I hopefully for him, for his sake, and for his team's economy's sake, he stays alive. As FS Esports, yeah, well, they'll be going for eco. They just want to go for cheap guns and try and take a few kills. As Cortez is right here with a shorty.
This is a really common angle, though. I believe the team like Reckoning should check that. Even if they don't get the frag, I believe, just clearing out the angle before going through that doorway would be a good option. But looks like they are not going to be pushing that A side at all. They're rotating to the C side, and I believe this is going to be really well read from the side of FS. As Cody, he's going to be going for peak, seeing a lot of bodies coming towards him. Does take a lot of damage, isn't able to get the frag. As Chris gets another one onto catch. Dominic turns away the last second of timing. He's got to be kicking himself after that. Iron Q's going to get the frag onto him. B2. Can he land one with the right click? No, Iron Q's going to finish him off as well. All onto Cortez. He was trying to find a cheeky frag with a shorty, but no. He's been denied that as well, and a flawless buy round for the side of Reckoning. And I gotta say, the rotation, it was really well read by FS, but again, the weapons are just not the best for them. And compared to what the side of Reckoning had, I mean, maybe a couple of frags should have gone their way, but it's still not
Yeah.
all. They can go for the buys. It's fine.
And for the side of Reckoning, they can go for the bonus round right now. They've got the one Vandal. They can deal a significant amount of damage. I think on Reckoning's mind will be to go in pairs and try to go for trades because our guns don't matter. We just have to make sure that FS don't have majority guns alive towards the end of the round. But again, 3 members on the side of FS right here to hold off A. There's the guiding light and Cortez. He loses his life. But there is a quick refrag. Cactus is still there with the Vandal. He's got Ion Q locked off. Pressure is going to be Jet versus Jet. Now, which one of them is going to take the kill? Cactus slowly but surely.
As
He is
that.
pushing in. Ion Q, he peeks, and it's going to be Cactus who gets the kill, and he falls back. So that is great. Reckoning, they don't have the A shot pressure anymore. They just have to push in from A long, and Bondef pushes. Kohli missed him first, but he still got the kill. Spike can be planted, but Cactus in the bomb site is just ruining everything for Reckoning, and he gets a 4K, majority of them being headshots, and he was the hero to the side of FS this round.
Bondef, he just flashed out and he didn't check Kohli there on his right side. It's not like he was hide. It's just a plain wall there. There's no box or an obstacle that he can hide on. It's just that I believe Bondef just was very much focused on Cactus, who was positioned in that A short. Obviously, Cactus got a frag on Ion Q initially, and he got one more before that. So yeah, it's good to focus on that. But just look right for once and like, oh, there's a player here. He's blind. He's looking into the wall. Let me kill him quickly before I do anything else. And obviously, he had 3 teammates behind him, so that would be a really good idea to happen. But Kohli, he's gonna get the first frag on the Bond F. And Q does get a trade though, it's all good. We still have the man advantage, but not for long if Cactus gets one more into Ion Q. Even with the trade though, the trade game is looking good, and finally the cycle is broken. Trist with the frag onto Cactus, making this 3 versus 2. Bombman's gonna go down, and they can play the post plan quite comfortably. Actually, all 3 of these agents are really effective on the post plan. Cortez and B2, this is gonna be really difficult for them to pull off. If they do, that's great, but economy will be suffering if they don't.
Yeah, that's the thing that right now FS they just have to push down like C long. They can't do anything else. Here we've got Trist right at the cusp of Garage, right at the edge there.
Oh,
not going to push in.
timing.
There's the
Oh my
fake defuse.
God.
Trist from Garage. Oh, this can be big. This can be big. No one has spotted him just yet. B2 going towards C long. He loses his life, and it's going to be Killjoy. One Killjoy lost her life. One Killjoy took one for herself. So Reckoning Esports, great post plan. They didn't lose any casualties. The only time a few of the members died was in the act of execution. However, long story short, they now force their opponents to go into another eco semi-buy with just minimal amount of guns and minimal amount of armor. That's not nice. Cactus though, he can be the instigator. He can be the catalyst right now because he's got his ultimate. He's got the Blaze Storm. He opts to get the full armor. He's got to click heads. He's got to make sure his aim is crisp, on point, and doesn't miss a single one of the blades. That can be a turning point. But if Reckoning shut down Cactus early on in this round, then I think nothing much can be said. It's going to be a near flawless round anyways because the economy just, yeah, again, the gun disparity is just so major.
Like a couple of players from FSR, thinking about if they want to go for a bit of a half buy or a bit of a force in their hands. We do see Kohli on a Spectre and Dominic on a Judge. I believe Cortez can afford to do that as well. V2 is the only one who has to play a pistol no matter what, unless of course he receives a drop. And Cactus is obviously on the base. So, I mean, a half buy is possible. The thing is it viable is the question. I mean, I guess it is viable, but they need to get those frags. And considering the side of Reckoning winning the first map and having a pretty good start over here on the second one, their momentum is definitely going to be on a sky rise, and they're definitely feeling the blood pumping within them. So I'm pretty sure they won't be missing any of their shots regardless of the weapons bought by FS. So it's a gamble either ways. If you go for the buy, of course, you're gonna not only ruin your economy, you're gonna be ruining a bit of the future. If you went for a save, you're just losing this one round. You can go for a buy in the next one. So that's something that FS have to consider. But before anything else, they are facing some technical issues. So, I mean, it's a pause is a pause. So they can have some time to talk within themselves and have some time to, make sure everyone's on the same page. Everyone has a clear plan. Because right now, they're one map down. And I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting to be one map down. I mean, we weren't expecting them to be one map down.
No one was.
So they definitely are a bit rattled after that first map. So they need to calm the nerves down and make sure everybody's following the game plan, knows the tactics, knows the procedure to follow, and follows accordingly. Easier said than done though, but hopefully a team like FS, who are second on the group stage, I remind you, should be able to pull it off. But yeah, I mean, nothing else to do but wait and watch until the pause is on pause.
Yeah, that's the thing for the side of FS right now. You know, they have played Haven a decent amount of time. It's one of their higher played maps as well. For Reckoning, yeah, this used to be their home ground, the map which they had a lot of success on early on. Recently, it's been a bit on and off again thing. But for the side of FS, they have been consistent right here. So they'd surely, you know, think of something along the lines of that, where they have experience and whatever strategies they have thought about in the past few weeks, months that they have been together, they can think about it. You know, this being one of the strategies of Reckoning right now. I mean, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of very indicative and intricate gameplay. I'm not sure if people can understand what's going on here. The
My brain
turret
exploding.
actually, the turret actually is the sort of gravitational pull, and everyone is rotating around it. So this to me feels like a fifth grade science fair project where the turret is the sun and all four members are the planets, and the jet towards the end, that is Pluto, because Pluto is no more in the in the
Oh.
solar system thing. So
Oh.
he's all by himself. But this is very, yeah, this can be great
Yet
to
he
teach
stopped
children.
tracking. Yet
Yeah,
he stopped tracking. Also, I
that's the
believe
thing, yeah.
if you step away from like science and engineering and stuff, you can think of it. I believe when me and some of the other casters was discussing about the 9-3 curse and the Valorant gods and
Don't
everything.
the
I
no
was
aggressive has
I was
implemented this in
I
everyone's
listen.
mind.
I know, but listen, hear me out over here. I believe that the side of Reckoning, they have a strat, and that involves the turret
Uh-huh.
playing a big
Uh-huh.
role, and they're all blessing the turret. They're all like
Blessing.
performing a ritual, and that's gonna give the turret some buffs, and he's gonna be able to get some frags all on his own, like we saw in some of the trailers that Valorant released recently. The bot moving on its own and like that. It's something I believe something really creepy is about to happen with the bot, but
Right there.
we're gonna find out regardless as we move on to the fifth round of this half. Initially, things aren't looking good for FS. We see the buys not looking good. Couple of specters available for Dominic and Kohli. Drone will be sent into the seaside. Dominic destroys that. Could have gone undercover. Could have told his teammate B2 to destroy it for him. But doesn't really matter, they're not pushing that seaside. They're instead going for the B push, and a quick B entry, plant, and exit wouldn't be a bad option. The thing is, FS, they are surrounding the site with a weapon disparity. Oh, Kohli though lands a couple of quick shots. Oh, what's happening? Can he get one more? He's stuck in the backside 3 versus 3 scenario. Decent economy damage has been done already. And that's going to be enough to scare the side of Reckoning away from this B side. They're rerotating to the C side. The thing is, Dominic, he's pushed up C main. Are they going to be checking him is the question. Can he do some really significant damage? Going for the peak, gets the denial. And here comes Hunter Street to deny the spike run even more. Yuban is going to be pushing up to that C main. But oh, Kohli with the Hunter Street gets him. And how the tables have turned. Tries to all onto him with 40 HP. No armor, no utility. Has a spike,
30
but
seconds left.
what's he gonna do?
Thrifty.
Oh no!
Okay,
Ritual
this
went
again, no aggressive. The only thing that is the cursed is aggressive's theory about the curse. No, I can't believe. No, okay, but again, jokes aside, the thing is, this technical pause acted more like tactical pause for the side of FS. They completely, they refreshed their mindset, and this is a great showing. They won a lot of those gunfights. This was great. We need to see something more like this, where everyone is on the same page, where everyone knows what they need to do in order to make sure that they find success. The kills right here were great. The kill disparity, the gun disparity, sure, it may have been major, but now it is FS who've got the rifles. Now it's FS who have the advantage in terms of their positioning and the guns. Reckoning, it's their chance, and it's their choice to go for the Spectres and the SMGs. Look at Kohli in the positioning. He gets one, he spots another, but that's going to be a trade. Cactus still holding down a shot. It's going to be Jet versus Jet yet again. Operator against the Blade Storm. It's going to be very, very close. We've seen Jet versus Jet in this very angle before. We may just see it again. Time is running out. Reckoning need to go for an execute
should run.
as soon as possible, or at least they need to find some indication. And this can be a nice indication as the Killjoy lockdown has been initiated.
Cactus drops, makes some noise. He's gonna be pushing in. INQ though, he's holding with the right click and gets the shot in, picks up the operator as well. Oh, well, now things have gone horribly wrong for FS. on their own buy
Spike
round.
planted.
Decided Reckoning are going to pick up some weapons. B2 realizes there's one position in default. Sukuna, that's the man. He's not going to be giving any more peeks. Real information is relayed to him that there's a player in heaven as well. Because gunshots are coming out of there, so it's safe to assume there's one player there.
Last
Dominic's going to make
player
himself known. He's
standing.
to destroy the turret, and he's going to be paying the ultimate price for that. That being his life. Sukuna's going to get that frag, and I believe he's able to pick up a Vandal if he wants to. So a pretty decent 50 round for the side of Reckoning, as we see Tristan
Very
getting the
good.
last one. They're gonna pick up some guns as well. So yeah, back and forth, but the side of Reckoning winning those early rounds allows them to keep this lead. Again, FS, they have some money to work with. Force buy is again on the option. Last time it paid off. This time, is it gonna pay off is the question. As we see a couple of rifles, actually a few rifles being bought. B2, Dominic and Cactus going for the Vandals and Phantoms. Spectres on Coley and Cortez. Still not a bad lineup, but I gotta say, some armor and utilities sacrificed. Do they want to take those risks in this scenario?
That's the thing, because no one knows for certain what's gonna happen. We have seen 2 thrifty-ish rounds consecutively, and both the times it's been either one of the teams winning and losing. You know, doesn't matter if it's FS who have the better guns or it's Reckoning, they can still lose. So economy, how big of a factor is that playing, or is it really just down to the momentum? I honestly think momentum is playing the biggest factor. We talked about this in the pre-match presentation, and it has to be brought up yet again. It's just going to be based on kills. By momentum, I also mean the early round. It's going to be a major factor. If a team knows they are in trouble in the early round, they may not attempt they may attempt far more, you know, experimental and dodgy plays than just playing safe and sound, because they know they're going to get shut down if they do something like that. Right now, it's still equal numbers, it's still an equal play. 50 seconds on the clock, plenty of time. However, FS, I think they may have read this execute. We can see players, reinforcements coming over to the A bomb site, but it's going to be the first line of defense who have to hold off this attack. There's the first kill. It helps Reckoning. Cortez has been cornered off. He gets one. He has to reload. He loses his life, but Cactus is there as the reinforcement. That's a double, and this is a 1
30 seconds left.
versus 1.
Oh my god, this is going down to the very wire. INQ with an operator. Dominic is on half armor and a Phantom.
Blocking sight.
INQ has a decent amount of utility to work with. Uses up one of his smokes immediately. The question is, how does he want to play this?
10
Because
seconds left.
Dominic's strategy is very much apparent. He's just waiting for the spike to be planted. Sends a gravitational well. I think he has the noise cue that he's
Spike
planted
planted.
really quick and now sees him. Is INQ ready for him? He's gonna putting up a smoke real close. But oh, he
Oh my
gets the
God.
flick into the head. That was really close.
Where's
And
the
INQ,
op?
I
Oh.
believe he's jittered as well. He forgot where he dropped the op. INQ just reflexed his way out of that. I believe Dominic knew he had it in the back, because INQ no way was he prepared for that. He made no indication that
he was
pushed up.
cornered off.
Yeah, he knew exactly where it was. INQ just based on reflex, just based on the flick to the head, he's gonna be able to clutch that round up, and it's gonna be a 2-5 scoreline. And then finally, it's gonna be the side of Reckoning being able to extend their lead, not just because of making this a 5-2, but breaking the economy of FS now on an eco. Have a couple of Spectres and Stingers, but overall on paper, 6-2 should be on the board. So again, the lead
Wait,
is
what
being
is this
extended.
execute?
Scanning ahead.
They're just slowly executing. Okay, now the
Very
execute
one-
happens. No
very
smokes, not a lot.
one-dimensional.
Just the side control has been taken. There's no one from FS to contest the side. Everyone's coming from the attacker spawn. It's a backstab. But I think that Reckoning have this in the bag. Yeah, Juven, he's got to stay safe. He's in a lot of trouble right now if he realizes this or not. He has been flashed and he still gets one. Ayanku helps him out even a bit more. So FS, they have decent-ish guns. However, they don't have the man advantage at all. And everyone is dying. Holy, can you get the
my
kill?
God!
Oh my
What?
god, the shorty! What is this movement? What was that movement from Ayanku? He dashed, drafted, dashed, shorty. Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just INQ for you. He's just doing all this stuff with the jet where I didn't even think was possible. Like, that quick scope onto that player pushing towards Cubby. He's even going to be updrafting his way onto the last player alive for the side of FS and getting the shot of the shot. I thought he missed. I believe the first shot was on the leg, but the second one connected straight to the body and the head. He's able to get that frag there. But, I mean, even if he missed the shot, I feel like a decent amount of damage would be done to the economy, as taking down 2 to 3 players is not a bad way to play an eco. And FS, considering they're on their own buy, they wouldn't be too displeased with that round. But again, They didn't get 2 to 3 players that round, so they're gonna have to be playing the buy on the weapons on the economy they have right now. No extra money for them. Still, it's enough to make it work. They have all rifles in their hands. They even have an operator and cactus. They are lacking in armor on a couple of players, but not sure if that's going to be the biggest issue, considering the side of reckoning. They're sort of running away with the lead right now. If they give away this round 7-2, there's no way that the side of reckoning are going to the second half at a disadvantage. They're going to establish the lead. The best that the side of FS can do after that is 7-5. So second half, if it comes, if this round goes in favor of reckoning, it's definitely gonna be their lead in the second half is what I'm trying to say. So big round for either side, but more for FS as they have the buy round now, and they need to make these buy round count.
Exactly. For the side of FS, they have to salvage what little they can out of this half. They still can. I mean, technically, it's possible to go for a 6-6, but honestly, I don't see that happening. I can agree to like an 8-4, maybe even a 7-3 taking place. It's Cactus. Oh, he gets rid of the other operator. He's still holding the same angle towards A main. He's not moving at all. He destroys the op. He's got to realize he has to fall back. He can't keep on peeking it, but he does, and he wins another gunfight. Can he get back safely? He's down deep into A long. He's still holding the angle. He may just get another kill. Yes, he does. He gets his third. Cactus is on fire right now. He cannot be stopped. And reckoning, before you know it, their entire team has just
30
died
seconds left.
and fallen like flies within seconds.
Well, things have definitely turned the tables, or tables have turned. I don't know what to say, but FS, they're definitely in a very comfortable position. Their Esports is the first one and B2 on the second one as well. It's gonna be a 3-6 scoreline. Looks like FS are still fighting back, a flawless round to clap back with, and they're still trying to keep this the best scoreline they can possibly bring. That right now being the 6-6. And considering they picked up a lot of weapons that last round, they should definitely be able to salvage their economy quite a bit. It doesn't really matter for the side of Reckoning, though. They can go for their buys. They did win a bunch of rounds in a row, so Vandals and Phantoms all around for them. But Cactus is on an operator, so that is something you need to watch out for. And he's picking that A main, the A long position, and a couple of players from Reckoning are going to be peeking there. One of them might be Sakuna, who's actually really instrumental in this one. He's not fragging, he's not on the top of the leaderboard, but his utility and his impact frags are on another level. So he should definitely be a little bit careful while going for this peak, but for now he's going to be staying back as the Sova drone denies him information. But Cactus, he's pushed up so far, he should get one frag quite easily, unless some interesting stuff happens with the operator, which does happen. But oh, okay. All right. Maybe I jinxed it. I'm sorry.
That is great.
Maybe I jinxed it.
That was great right there from Juven. Yeah, again, Cactus just on the move. He was moving. And the Killjoy lockdown as a reply back to the attackers lining up the push. Bond F though, he still gets the kill. The lockdown has been destroyed. The Hunter's Fury goes wild, but B2 goes wild with it. His lockdown may have been destroyed, but his hopes surely aren't. People are peeking. B2 finally falls. Sukuna tried to go for another kill. However, it's going to be Bond F all by himself. Gets 2 kills to end the round. And a 1 versus 2 clutch to make sure that Reckoning still instigate the lead even more, and they still extend the lead even more. They are now up to 7 rounds, so they'll make sure at the very least they are going into the second half with an advantage.
That they are. They have confirmed that. They've cemented it and written down the stones. But again, FS, they did get a lot of frags around. That's allowing them to go for some more buys, although be it a couple of players on half armor. That's fine, no problem. They can still play with those weapons. The thing is, I feel like in some of these cases, FS, they're making the mistakes that we sort of expected the side of Reckoning to do. They're not really diversifying their strats a little bit. I feel like this A side hold is really common. And the positioning of the players, especially B2 and Kohli, have been playing here this whole time, this whole first half. It's quite easily countered, and you see the execution coming in. Iron gets the first one, Cortez does get a trade, and so does B2 a second one.
Oh my
the
god.
quick trade. Brought down to a 2 versus 2 in a matter of seconds. But Cactus is on the flank. INQ does get the spike down, so he's going to be safe for now, but he doesn't know there's a player on flank. Juven! Oh, the timing! Oh my god, the timing. Cactus looked away at the last second. Juven got off the drone at the very last moment. He will die regardless after getting that frag. And so will
Oh
INQ.
my god.
What? they gave away that round.
Yeah, now they could have been together, but again, isolating the gunfights. And Dominic, he didn't even lose a single bit of his HP. 100 health, full armor, and that was the clutch. We've been seeing too many of these clutches. Let's look at Cactus. Again, this was just pure timing. I mean, nothing can be said about it. Even he was on his drone. I looked away, and then Cactus also looking away. This again, he's just out in the open, and again, Iron Cube peaks, even though he had no business doing so, because the wall was wall bangle, because the material was wall bangle. Then the shots could have connected either way, which they did. So FSESPORTS take another round. They'll take what they can right now. We are going into the final round of the first half. Reckoning, FS, everyone has got a few ultimates on board. Speaking of ultimates, we do see the Cosmic Divide. It shuts off C completely, and here's the entry into the C. Cortez pushes up, and he gets the kill onto ANQ. That is the entry fragger gone. Cortez is still alive. 3 members from FSESPORTS are in the C bomb side. The spike was dropped. It has been retrieved, and Reckoning do fall back. They do get 1 kill, but at the cost of 2, and at the cost of so much wasted utility and ultimates.
Again, now they're rotating to the A side, and this is really fast red from the side of FS. They're already pushing up to that A side. Not in time, though. They are going to be having to give away the spike plant, I believe, and yes, that is happening right now. But again, 4 versus 3, they have the advantage. They have ultimates to work with as well.
You should
Especially
run.
that Cosmic Divide. It's going to be coming in at any second, but the Killjoy ultimate buying time for the side of Reckoning. I can't say if it's a bit early or if it's a bit late, but again, on the flank, it's Dominic. Not sure if the side of Reckoning are ready for him yet. Sukuna, I think he just heard the footstep and he's going to be waiting for him to peek. No frags going down just yet, but the execution towards the side is happening. You take this frag, and he does bring it to a 3 versus 3 scenario. He's going to be tapping the bomb. Recon is going to be coming in, destroyed immediately. He's half defused already. He's sticking it. He's sticking it. He's sticking it, and he's got it. Chris is gonna peek out just a little bit too late. They're gonna get all the frags, but the round is given away. And it's gonna be a 7-5 to end things off. Oh, and 8. An 8-4 would have been a really good way to end things. But again, FS, they're able to play really calmly, and they're able to use the utilities to the best of their situation and get the most advantage they can. That being the 7-5. This was the best they could conjure up, CCV, and they have done it. Now they have set themselves up the best they can for the second half. Now the question comes is, how are either of these sides going to translate how their performance was in the first half into the second one as a side switch? Because attack and defense, it's very different, especially on a map like Haven. Like, you have to change your mentality really quick, and it's easier said than done.
Certainly is, and yeah, I get the Cosmic Divide was there, and they couldn't really hear the spike, but I still can't get my mind off. The spike, the Cosmic Divide was there for a specific reason, to do just that, to take the mind off of the sound, to, you know, make the opponents not be able to hear the spike being diffused, but just, it was so much. Regardless, now FSESPORTS, you know, they are the ones who are on the attack. Reckoning, they have a slightly better win percentage on the map of Haven on defense when compared to attack. So statistically, they are favored right now. Meanwhile, for FSESPORTS as well, you know, they were on defense first, and it was decent enough for them. But right now, FS have taken side control. They have planted the spike. Everything is done. It's a post-plant scenario. 5 versus 5. That's the main thing. So how exactly are Reckoning planning the retake right now? Because utility is next to nothing in a pistol round. It's all dependent on gunplay. It's all dependent on the guns that you have and your mechanical abilities. Kuna has been isolated, and he is the first casualty in this round. Cactus is trying to hold off the angle. Notice takes care of him. Bond, he gets another kill, and Chris peaks even more. Juven's present, and B2 is the only person alive. His turret gets 1 casualty. However, the spike is being defused. It's an isolated gunfight. B2 peaks slightly. Ion Q's then again. What was Bondek doing?
Bondek was destroying the turret, I believe. I think he was destroying the turret, but he could have just gone into cover to try and avoid that. I think he tried to, you know, not take much damage, but it doesn't really matter. If you go out of position, you're double peeking. Your HP doesn't really matter. If you both shoot at the same time, there's no way he's going to survive that. Instead, you're just going to give away 1 round, and the gap wasn't that monumental, I remind you. 7-5. Just need to win the pistol round to equalize. Now that they've done that, they've got the weapons, FS, and they can definitely counter on that weapon and be able to regain the equalization. 7-7 is definitely on the board. And not only that, Cactus, he's confident enough to go for a Phantom and full armor. So, Oh, look at the strat, by the way. The side of Reckoning, they are deciding to go for that mid aggro on the eco round. It
Yeah.
hasn't paid off. They haven't found any frags. So they're all on the flank, and I believe B2, who's holding the flank, realizes the issue, gets one, gets another, as third as well. Sukuni does get the trade. But in the end, it's all going to come in favor of FS. They lose a few players, doesn't really matter. They have their economy built up again, and they can go for the buy. Second question is, Reckoning, their own buys coming up, and can FS keep the momentum and keep the weapons, win the bonus round, basically?
Bonus round is going to be difficult to win and to try and get a victory on, because again there's going to be a major gun disparity, but hey, we have seen multiple thrifties so far in this matchup, so it is still on the table. It's not a very unlikely possibility, but Reckoning are going to take things very slowly. They're just going to stay, play safe, play passively. We can see 3 members on the A bomb side, and no, not throw that away. They're getting aggressive. Look at Anku. There's the flash. He gets one. You went. The shot dart gets another's. Bond F replies even more, and it's still a 3 versus 2. It's only been 15 seconds into the action phase. FS are down to their 2 supporting players. Reckoning as well, they've got their supports on the board. However, they have 1 extra player. The Spike's still on the A bomb side, and Juven's the only one on A. He's still going to stay in this corner. He is very safe in this corner. There goes the Killjoy lockdown. It doesn't look like it's going to be a fake. It's going to be an execute right here. There go the Astral Stars. Here comes the execute, but Reckoning aren't planning on the execute. They want to go for the... Exactly, they want to go for the retake. You can look at Juven. You get the kill. Oh my... He can. Yes, he can.
He gets the frag. It's all good. It was a little bit shaky, but it's fine. 1 versus 3 scenario. Cosmic Divide will push him back. They can just stick the defuse. Juven can push up ahead. There is a bot behind, but doesn't really matter. He flicks to the head. Triple kill for him. But again, I mean, if I'm being honest, you could try and deny the plant. That is money given to FS. They do get some money, every single player, and that, I believe that should be enough for them to go for a bit of a buy. Yeah, they're going to be able to get some rifles on the board again. Dominic as well should be able to afford Phantom. He does. And maybe that denying that would disallow them that kind of money, but it doesn't really matter. They get the round, they retain the lead. It's gonna be an 8-7 scoreline, but they're gonna have to, you know, fight a little bit harder for it, because the buy round is gonna be coming back up again for the side of FS, and this time I believe FS this aggressive strategy they tried to pull through last round is not gonna work. Obviously, Bondef tried to push up ahead, eats up a decent amount of HP from the counter sky. That's Cortez. He will be healing his teammates back up, and Juven has to fall back. Rotations are happening. Looks like Trist is gonna be joining onto the A site. They're gonna be playing the postman. They've all exited the site, so retake is where it's at for the side of Reckoning.
Take flight.
And for the retake, they don't have any ultimates. They just have to rely on their primary and secondary ability. Cactus pushes up and he gets another kill for himself this round. So he is doing nice. There goes the recon bolt. It has been destroyed, but Reckoning are down to bare bone numbers, and they may opt for a save. Yes, they are. They're going to go for the save. B2 as well. He just was a little too late, and I don't think he'll be looking at and he'll be seeing any Reckoning members anytime soon. He's still pushing up towards defender spawn, where Sukuna is holding guard. However, yeah, Reckoning, they're just going to opt to save. Smart decision. They don't want to risk it right now. They know it's a lost cause going into the bomb site, trying to get a few kills. They know that saving their guns is far, far more valuable than trying anything shoddy. You win right now. Oh, beat. Oh, he gets the kill. You win. He's still there. Can he get a kill? The turret has been set up. Oh no.
No way
Skin
Juven
in
lives.
only in a
There's
bad
no
way.
Juven lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe the flank in the end really did work out for B2. He was able to get those eco frags in, and only one player survived for the set of Reckoning, that being INQ. He has enough economy to drop one more player, I believe, but do the side of Reckoning want to go for that buy round is the question, and looks like, I believe not. The boss timer is being used up by Reckoning, and that's a good call. They don't want to give away the momentum to the set of FS, and this is a good tactic to manually break the momentum for your opponents. They're winning a few rounds in a row, and you know that they're feeling each and every gunfight. They're feeling themselves. Like Reckoning, they were the one who's controlling the pace, but right now FS, as soon as they're able to counter that aggressive push towards the side of A, the whole thing for the side of Reckoning sort of got into panic mode, and they all rotated towards that A side, and then, you know, it got a bit confused, got a little bit tricky. Confusion was all around, but in the end, it all came down to FS. So with 8-8 on the scoreline and I believe an eco round coming up, it's good that they took this pause so that they have a game plan set up for the future. Looks like some half-buys will be coming in. Trist will be going for the judge. No armor, I believe. Yeah, no armor, so I guess that's technically a save, but he does stand a better chance of getting a frag or two with that weapon. But yeah, on paper, 8-9 in favor of FS should be guaranteed. But again, how do the side of Reckoning play off of that scoreline? They have their buy round coming up after that. What is their game plan here? Really interested to see.
That is true. Both teams need a mental reset. The mental reset, the technical pause which happened in the first half, that helped FSESPORTS get back into the mind state they would require. This one, maybe it's going to help Reckoning since they were the ones who took it. Otherwise, other than the pause, I think there's a slight technical issue going on as well. Maybe something similar to what we saw earlier. Hopefully, just like the earlier one, it gets resolved as soon as possible. That'll be nice. Everyone I know wants to resume this. The players as well, they are ready to tackle it head on. They are still ready to determine if we are going to map number 3 or is it going to be done and dusted here at Haven or not. Just like Ascent, just like the second half on Ascent, this is looking in a very similar manner. That went to 24 rounds of regulation. If I'm being honest, I can see this going into overtime as well. I can very much see 13-10, 13-11, something really similar to that. Which team gets the 13-11? Yeah, that's the part I'm not completely sure. It can be either FS or it can be Reckoning, based on how they're playing, based on how uncertain and versatile and variable the future holds and the future is for all 10 of these players. But for now, the thing certainly is going to be for Reckoning to try and not be too aggressive. Like they want, I get that Reckoning are trying to stop the execution already. Like as soon as they see members pushing into A long or A short, they want to kill them there. However, waiting a little bit more, playing a little passively and trying to kill the members right at the entrance of the bomb site, that can be a bit more favorable because that will make it seem like FS have already gone and already have committed to the push. But if they're dying right at the entrance, well, then they have a very difficult decision to make. Do we just, cut back our losses and fall back with 3-4 members alive and try something else later on in the round? Or do we half-heartedly go for this push knowing that we've already lost a few of the members? Either one of them, it can give Reckoning the better chances. So Reckoning, their strategy right now is definitely going to be play a little passively. I'm not saying too much. Play a little passively. Let the attackers come at the entrance of the bomb site and then try and get rid of them. For the side of FSESports, well, it's going to be get initial kill, get side control, and then the post round so far from FS, they have been nice. So that's good to know. The only thing is going to be, yeah, they have to get side control as soon as possible. No, the team that gets side control, they bump up their chances of winning a lot. Retakes aren't really working too many times on the map of Haven so far.
Indeed, and I believe it's not just that you have to turn it to a passive node. They can mix things up like they did on the first map. It's fine to play aggressive, but you just gotta be a little bit unpredictable. Not do the same thing again and again. Play passive, then aggressive. Maybe switch things up, mix things up a little bit. That'll definitely help them out quite a bit. But for now, they're gonna have to play really slowly, regardless, because they are on an eco. And for now, looks like it's gonna be an A side hit from the side of FS. The spike is all the way on mid though. So this could all be a fake, and I believe it is, and that is working right now. All 5 of the players are being pulled to this A site, and looks like the side of B2 and Dominic, they can just walk in to see if they want to. From the side of Reckoning, I believe Sakuna is realizing that, okay, the C site's looking kind of empty. Maybe this could all be a fake as the noise is being cut off. Again, the flash from the sky will reveal that one player is an A main, that being Cactus. But looks like it's gonna be an A hit after all. They have re-rotated, and with 45 seconds left, I'm not seeing much in any other options. Trist, his position is not discovered. How? I have no idea. But he's gonna be trying to trigger discipline this. He gets one, and he gets a second as well. Yuvan gets one more as well before dying.
30 seconds left.
And brought to a 2 versus 3, very much winnable. Oh, he's gonna try and pull the lockdown. But B2 has a judge, and he gets a shot as well. Dominic, can he land a shot? He doesn't. No way Reckoning win that.
The judge, I called it.
Everyone's tech
I
still
called
working?
it before.
Double check it, please.
For the pause,
Yeah.
that judge has the potential to get a multi-frag, but no way could I predict that this would be the way he gets it. That ultimate not only just, you know, creating a more panicky situation for the opponents, it's going to be pulling them towards. He's like, okay, the ultimate, I can destroy him, destroy the ultimate, make things easier for my team if I push him right now. And he just baited him towards him, and I mean, he knew that there was a judge there. Doesn't really matter. He's just, I don't know. That was such a weird round. I didn't really expect Reckoning to win that. It just got me flabbergasted all around. 8-9's gonna be the scoreline, and again Reckoning aggressive strats. Oh, but this
Previously
time
it was
though,
Cactus.
This time
It's
though,
IonQ and Cactus gets the kill. Oh my god, again, Operator versus Operator. Just too lethal. And IonQ just got a little too aggressive. This is what I was seeing from Reckoning. And he was all alone, no trades. And Kohli gets another kill with his Hunter's Fury. So Reckoning may have won the thrifty round, but it looks like they're on the back foot for the full buy. Sukuna's all alone in that C-Long. You went, I mean, everyone is isolated because it is such a big map, and because everyone can't, I mean, because all the Reckoning members, they have to hold so many angles, they just have to play by themselves, and that's the problem. For the side of FS, they can stick together, but Sukuna, he can deal a lot of damage. Oh, the turret, he spots it, the turret spots him, and he has to fall back. It could have been a great flank, however, that's exactly what the turret is for, to watch for backstabs, to watch for flanks. Now they execute, looking to happen on the B bomb side. You've got Trist right there, holding the angle, but how long can he survive? The swarm grenade pushes him back even more. The spike is going to be planted. Yuwen's right there on back. He spots one. He gets one. Can he get the second? Yes, he gets the second. There's one on Garage. He knows about B2 being in that corner. B2's there. B2 has been spotted. He has so many angles to check. And B2 also dies. It's now a 2 versus 2. Incredible for Reckoning. They still have to push up. Cactus with the op in close quarter. How lethal is it going to be? Sukuna knows about Kohli.
oh no, timing.
Looks away. Kohli. Oh, and he secures the kill. It's all down to
Timing.
Cactus. He's got to win it. He has the
Yes,
time.
Oh no, he misses. Shotgun's gonna bring him to 60 HP, and it's an easy frag
the
for you
defuse?
and triple kill for him. I think he has time. He should have more than enough time. He has.
Oh
more
my
than enough
God.
time. Go for it. And what are these rounds coming out from
How?
the side
Standing ahead.
of
How?
Reckoning? We called them off. You said it that the thrifty round might have gone in their favor, but this round is definitely not. That flank came in huge. And again,
This
B2
was-
stuck in
yeah.
that corner. That was really good timing though. Sukuna also peeking out from Garage. He's going to be spotting out the player hiding in that corner, B2. If he wasn't spotted out, they could have been in serious trouble. He could have gotten a multi-frag there. And again, that frag onto Kohli. That was such an easy. The timing was so off. He was looking at the wrong direction. Just flicks and lands a headshot. There's a saying that you miss the shots where your opponents aren't looking at you. Those are the hardest shots to hit. And I might be starting to believe that's true. Again, they
Yeah,
are
the thing is,
forced to
that
do
doesn't
so,
apply to me because I miss all of my shots if my opponent is looking or not. But regardless, these players, they aren't missing their shots. That's the thing. Again, we may joke around, but these players, they are taking it extremely seriously. A lot of points to play for and different objectives for both of these teams to play for as well in the season. And now, FS, they have the side control. They may not have full armor. That can be a big factor. Can they go for the kills? Post plant is amazing. They've done great. The Astra, Cosmic Divide as well, it's doing good stuff. It is shutting off the defenders. So really good stuff right here. However, they still have to engage in gunfights because Reckoning are going to pile on the pressure even more. They've got their own ultimates. The Sky Seekers are out. The Sova Recon bolts, they can also be utilized. Yeah, there goes the Seekers. There goes Reckoning. There go the flashes. They are ready for the execution. Kohli, he gets a double. Dominic B2, they finish things off, and this was almost a team ace from FSESPORTS. Reckoning, no matter the amount of utility and the ultimates they spend, FSESPORTS just completely got rid of them. So again, the retakes aren't really working from Reckoning. This was just a proper collapse.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent enough execution. I believe waiting for the wall to drop would have been the best option than shooting the Sova Recon at the usual spot. You know, the one on the top, on the ledge of the roof where
Yeah.
it's sort of the god arrow of that area. Maybe playing off that would have been the best option. They would be a little bit tight on time, but at least it would have been the safer option. And they could have gone some more frags on that regardless. So that could have been good eco damage. But right now, they are the ones who are in the back seat. They're the ones who's going to have to pull an eco. FS on the other side. They are on all rifles. Meanwhile, again, Trist is on the judge. He did do wonders with it last round, but can he do it? Not the last round, a few rounds back, but can he do it again is the question. Cactus stuck on that A main. Here comes the drone. It will spot him out, but he's not checking the right angle. Yuvin's gonna land an easy shot onto him, and the players are gonna be discovering them others onto A short as well. INQ spotted out the Sova on A short, and he's gonna be falling back. Meanwhile, B2 he's gonna be leading the charge. I think they're gonna try and go to this B side. Here comes the Killjoy Seekers. Sorry, not the Killjoy Seekers. What am I saying? It's the Sky Seekers, and they'll discover a couple of players in that A link, but to the smoke, Bondev doesn't lose a bit of our HP, and the denial from the Killjoy utility to the side. INQ will make its way through. Doesn't really matter. Bondev loses so many trades happening, but it's all gonna be in favor of the side of Reckoning. All onto B2. Makes a bit of noise while dropping. Don't know if they heard that. But definitely spotted him right now. And with the updraft and lands a singular knife. Man, Reckoning, they're looking to end things right now. And they're one away from getting one step closer to the finishing. One away from match point. Oh, but FS though, the economy just keeps coming. How are they able to go get these buys?
Government bailout for them.
Oh my god.
I think sometimes they plant the spikes, sometimes they can get kills, other times they try and save up, but again, this buy isn't looking the best. I mean, they've got a few members are looking nice. You know, you've got Caxus, Dominic Cortez, they've got full armor rifles, that's good, but at the same time, the other members are also hurting a bit in terms of their economic situation. This can give Reckoning the advantage they would like. Bond F, all by himself, pushing up. He's got the support of his teammate back in deep A main. However, if he wants to push up, yeah, he's all alone. He'll be taking a gunfight against Cactus very soon. So the Sova drone, it spots Cactus. That's nice. More info for both of these teams. Sova drone is going to be very valuable. This is what happens when you play with two initiators and a Killjoy. There is plenty of info, but now they have to act on it as well. Pondef is holding such a close angle. He can be the catalyst right now. All of the attackers, they are pushing through. Pondef gets one. Can he get the second? Yes, he can. He gets two. That is big. That is big for himself individually. Yuven is also right here at the corner, right at the cusp of this A long. No one has spotted him. Everyone from FS is going to funnel through A short, and I don't think it will work out a lot considering that time is ticking down.
You should run.
The Killjoy lockdown will make things a little bit difficult for the set of Reckoning, but they're going to be holding steady. FS not giving away that much time. Giving time for the side of Reckoning to push back, but the shoulder reveals itself and he's going to be able to dodge it. They know exactly where he is, but there's one more player there. The Sova, Yuven, his position discovered. Dominic wasn't expecting a Vandal, he was expecting an Operator. And he's gonna pay the price for not expecting that, and it's all on to Cortez. Match point is pretty much done. He gets one, but delaying the inevitable. 50 HP, sends a flash flying, gets one more. Wait a second, 10 HP. Okay, maybe I said too much. Triss is gonna be getting that frag in. 9-12, Reckoning. My lord, I am never counting them out again.
Season 4 Reckoning, if they make it, yeah, they're gonna be deadly. They're gonna be deadly.
They have to keep this in mind in going into the next season. Obviously, this is a great performance from them, but it's all for no avail. It's not really going to help them out in the group standings. But again, you have to keep notice. This is FS. This is the team that is placed second, won every single match, but the only match they lost is against VLT. And they are just, you know, they're just styling on them right now. Some of these rounds, I mean, the matches are close, but the rounds are looking really nice. The utility is great, the communication's great, and, you know, it's all working out for them. And they just need to make sure, okay, we did this last season. We weren't able to make it count this time in the next season, in season 4, where they have the fresh start, they have the fresh opportunity. They need to remind themselves, okay, we did that last season, we can do it again, and this time we're going to do it where it matters. This time we're going to do it where it helps us get to the higher standings in the group stage. And that's definitely I mean, from the side of FS though, this is not going to affect them either, but I mean, group standing wise, it's not going to affect them that much. But I gotta say, if I was an FS player mentally, I'd be a little bit shaken. Like, okay, I mean, we weren't really expecting to be in this situation, and this Reckoning team, they are at the bottom. They're at the very lower tier, and we're sort of, you know, giving away these rounds like this. What's happening?
That's the thing. FS will give their first ever, Reckoning will get their first ever win thanks to FS. So FS, yeah, mentally, once they go into the main event of Season 3, which FS, I believe, are confirmed to do that, what's going to be the mentality there? The best thing would be shake things off and just look forward. Don't worry what happened in the past. This doesn't affect your standings a lot. This round, though, it can affect a lot of things. It's not the best of buys from FS. However, it is a great start. Kohli gets the opening kill. Trist still holding the angle. He's going to push up from the smoke. He spots one. Can he get the kill? No, he can't get any. Oh, unfortunate. And IonQ, he gets the initial frag for his team, but it is too little, too late, because Reckoning Esports are down to 2 members, and FS, they'll be looking to plant the spike and then play a post-run scenario. IonQ still has a lot of work to do. Again, missing his shots. This happened. This is now plaguing the Reckoning members, that they're missing their shots. And this round, well, it looks like it's done and dusted.
Indeed, it's all on Sukuna. He is a great player and his position is revealed right now, but again, 1 versus 4. Low HP and a couple of players. Not sure if it's the best idea. He's going to be picking up the op and saving it. Not sure if the players of FS heard his footsteps as he's running away. They are going to be leaving the A side and trying to go for the hunt for him. I believe they know that there should be an operator there, because it's not lying on the floor.
Got 1 kill.
Yeah, they should know that an operator is attempted to be saved, and Sukuna is going to be trying to maneuver his way around these players, and he has to stay alive for quite a while. It's basically turned into a horror game right now, of hide and seek. And Peekaboo says nice too, but replies Sukuna. Can he get one more? Tries to land a quick scope, but no. Kohli makes sure the operator doesn't go in the hands of IonQ again. He can buy. He's gonna have to sacrifice some armor, and I believe his utilities looking good. It's fine, but the armor is not there again. And a really messy buy coming out of the Reckoning, and I'm not sure with this, and I'm sort of understand where they're coming from, because again, it's 10-12. The gap is still quite close. If you don't buy and try and end things right now, you might take it to an overtime later on. FS might build some momentum, but again, they are on match point. Do you wait for a proper buy? It's a really confusing situation where the side of Reckoning are right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right now, Reckoning have got to stop FS dead in the tracks right here when they have a decent enough buy, because next round, it's going to be proper overtime if Reckoning lose right now. There's the Judge, still sitting pretty with Trist. The Hunter's Fury, it deals a bit of damage, but not entirely. Trist, that Judge can still do plenty. There goes the Guiding Light, good. There goes the Regrowth as well, healing the teammates. They still aren't sure if Trist is there. They're going to the spam fire, but Trist is safe. Now he falls back, and now the Execute is going to come in a lot later than Reckoning might have wanted, but still, they are sitting at 5-man numbers. They're still ready. Sukuna also holding C long. Trist gets 1 before he's been traded out. Sukuna, can he get a kill? He sees 1. He gets another. No, he gets 1. Bond F was the person who got another. FS are down to only 1 person. Dominic, his team, everything relies on this one man. He has clutched before. He has to do it again. He has been spotted, and he has been put to the ground, as FS Esports have been put to the ground all over 6 feet under. Reckoning Esports take their first win in this season.
And what a way to get that win. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this. I'm not sure who in chat was expecting this, but I'm pretty sure if you're a fan for Reckoning, you might not be the happiest knowing that this doesn't really help you out overall in the standings, but knowing that this is what your team is capable of, especially against a strong team like FS, does give you some glimmer of hope that maybe in the next future, maybe in the next season, your team might perform a lot better. And it was a close match. Both of the maps were really close. Props on FS to try and bring it towards their favor, but I mean, I gotta say, Reckoning, they really surprised me, and I know it's too late this season, but I'm really gonna be keeping my notes on them for the next one. But speaking of the notes, speaking of what's happening, and we're gonna be going into highlights really soon to review what's happening, what happened overall in this whole match. Because I mean, there's just so much to see. There's just so much going on for both sides. I mean, FS, I feel like they definitely had enough time to reset, and they definitely won a few rounds that would give them opportunities to get some leads. But again, some of those clutches that weren't in their favor sort of threw them off. What do you think was the main reason that FS weren't able to maintain the lead here?
Just instability all over, instability in the kills, and there was no consistency, right? What did we see in these rounds? There's so many thrifty wins, judge kills, sheriffs, specters, etc.,
Yeah.
etc., that even against a full buy, mainly it was FS who was losing, and then it just came down to communication and stuff. They were improper with the executions a few of the times. Sometimes the executions from FS were really great. They took side control in a very dominating manner. They stayed inside. Their post plan was great, but at other times they just seemed to falter. This round in front of our screens, yeah, this one was from Reckoning. This was just a big yikes. I know they probably thought the gravity well acted, but there was the counter gravity well. There was also no sound cue. Plenty of things going on, but again, if they had just gotten visual confirmation by peaking, no matter how dangerous it would have been, it could have resulted in a different manner. But then we started the second half. Reckoning maintained the lead, and they kept on maintaining the lead through and through. There were times where FSESports equalized the score. We saw 8-8s, we saw 9-8s and whatnot. But towards the end, Reckoning got a step ahead, just like they did on Ascent, and they secured the win 2-0 overall.
Yeah, it was a close one in those very end stages, and I feel like, as you said, instability and lack of consistency. It wasn't exactly very consistent for the side of Reckoning, I would say, but they were able to get a lot of impact frags. Like, look at this! How does he get away with this? I think he finds one
Yeah.
more. And it's like I was talking about the judging, but honestly, I didn't expect it to be like this effective. Maybe one frag, get traded. It did happen later on, but when it counted, when they were behind and they were fighting to maintain that lead, fighting to fight off this equalization, this really good economy that the side of FS has built up. This as well. What was going on here? How are these rounds going in their favor?
This
These were the
round,
rounds.
again,
These, yes.
inconsistency, exactly.
These were the rounds that actually gave FS a hard time in this matchup. And again, we see the operator hitting the shots all the time, whosever hands it was on. INQ played really well, but again from Cactus, he hit the shots. He got a frag before that scenario, I'm pretty sure, and his operator was looking so good. I was expecting him to easily land that first shot and then take it to the post plan, but he just misses that first shot, which was really uncharacteristic. I'm not sure if it's inconsistency or maybe just cracked under the pressure. Either ways, it just wasn't enough for them to just scrape the win. Instead, it's gonna be the set of reckoning. And again, I gotta keep reminding myself that this isn't gonna really make what much happen for them overall in the group standings. But yeah, I
That
mean,
is true.
I know I keep mentioning it, guys, but it's a really important factor for this tournament. That this tournament, these matches really aren't gonna be super effective for either side, but it's still overall for the next season gives you a mental idea. But let's take a look at the scoreboard over here as we see Juven actually for the match MVP for Reckoning, and his Sova was great, but honestly I didn't even realize he got 23 frags. It's really impressive coming out. Same for Kohli, he's on the Sova, but he's not on the same level of frags, but still he's the MVP for his team side. And interesting stuff. I guess it's the side of Reckoning. They're a little bit more consistent. It's not just the duelist getting all the frags. INQ had his moments, but everyone else chimed in really well. And that's just the thing I love about these teams, that they have such a good chemistry and synergy and play these agents individually so well.
That's
That
the thing
it's a
about.
it's a really consistent scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, playing individually with agents as well. The player I have to highlight is B2. In this map, I mean, on Ascent, he had a great performance playing the arena. It was lovely stuff. But this map, he was far more slower in terms of the amount of kills he was getting, especially in the first half. They were like, for like the first initial 5-6 rounds, he had no kills. But then he started popping off and getting more and more. And now he's sitting at the middle of the table with 14 kills. So he salvaged it pretty well individually. Unfortunate for his team all over, they couldn't salvage what they had lost in half number one, and they lost 13-10. Reckoning, in the final few rounds, they just started picking up the speed, and they were really fast with their rounds, really fast with their kills, and just winning all over as fast as as fast as all the RAM and NVMe SSDs from our partner, Crucial. They've got RAMs up to like 4400 megahertz. Their generation for NVMe, I mean, just at the top of the line when it comes to performance, and when it comes to price to performance ratio as well. Very affordable, and yet absolutely bang for the buck.
Yeah, definitely. That was something a bank. And if you're looking for bang for the buck as well, this was a great match for the bang for the buck, because we weren't
Yeah.
really expecting this to be this intense and this exciting as well. We were like, okay, maybe
maybe FS will win. They're the second team on the group standings, and we should be in and out really quickly. But no, we were in and out decently quickly. But instead, it's for the side of Reckoning, and I believe Reckoning. This is something that you should be proud of, and keeping this in mind. Moving into the next one. So just take a look at the scoreboard before we go in. Let's just take a look at what the side of Reckoning have achieved overall in the last couple of hours. The first map on Ascent, it was definitely quite close. It was cutting it to the knife, and I believe that side of FS, they were giving it their all in the very end to try and get that overtime, to try and get the 12 and 12. It just wasn't enough. But yeah, on the third map, it looks closer, but honestly, some of these rounds, how Reckoning won, it's just leaving me baffled. It's leaving me speechless. In the end, they just won by quite a margin. Each and every one of those clutches was in a 3 versus 1 or a 4 versus 1, 4 versus 2. That scenario easy enough for them to win. So I guess in the end, I guess FS just sort of crumbled. They lost the momentum, motivation. It was all down in the ditches, and they weren't able to keep the same mental focus up as they did in the first map, where they were one away from equalization. But yeah, let's just take a look at how that affects the group standings. Again,
Yeah.
as I keep saying, that it won't really affect
I
it
don't think
that
it
much.
affects.
Let's
That's
see.
the
I
thing.
mean, yeah, FS, they're still in second position. I don't think Reckoning. Oh, Reckoning actually climbed one up, so maybe they can avoid relegation if they win out their next matches. Obviously, above them is only Friends with 2 wins and 4 losses. Um, maybe if they win their next match, well, we're not really sure what's gonna happen. The only
It's
way to find out
very
is gonna
dodgy
be,
right now. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
it's
thing.
really difficult. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is the one match that they have left, they should try and win it, and they should try and take that momentum to the next season. That's the main thing they should do. Doesn't really matter
Yeah.
what the group standings say. So overall, yeah, it doesn't really affect it too much for any of the teams. But you're reckoning they still should be holding their heads high after today.
And all Reckoning fans as well. Yeah, they've got the next match. I'm sure all the Reckoning fans must be absolutely delighted with this performance, and make sure, in order to not miss their final best of three that will happen. Because after this, unfortunately, we won't be seeing them in the main event. It will be some time before we can see Reckoning Esports back here at the Esports Club channel. So that's why make sure you are subscribed, and make sure, you get the WhatsApp bot from the Esports Club to essentially get all updates about future tournaments, potential streams, about all of the games that happen here at the Esports Club. Not just Valorant, not just PC games. We've got mobile games, console games, and plenty of tournaments lined up. So that's why, if you want to support your favorite teams, if you want to watch your favorite games, or just enjoy good esports, great tier 1 esports in general, you can have notifications come to you every single time we go live, and every other update that TEC has to offer. But for now, the update that we have to offer is, unfortunately, Kirito, all good things must come to an end. This match, this best of three, was a great one. But now, Reckoning, they take the 2-0 win. Before we end the stream, Kirito, obviously, we have to thank our partners and our sponsors, 656, just providing the drip. Not always, not just the jerseys. I mean, the jerseys are great for themselves, customizing, having your name on the back, but even 656 as a brand in general, with their premium high-end streetwear collections. I mean, it's lovely stuff right there. I've looked at it, and it is absolutely amazing. Speaking of amazing things, you've got Cosmic Byte providing you with peripherals to make sure that your gaming sessions, you are as precise as you can be. You are hitting the flicks. Your mouse is very precise, and your movements the same as well. So grab on some great combos, grab some great deals from their end by clicking the link in the description. And if you're looking for free things, and if you're looking to improve yourself in a free manner, well, join the community of Aimlab with over 1 million participants in the community, sharing their favorite scenarios, their favorite routines all over, and help yourself become a better aimer, not just in Valorant, but in any FPS shooter overall. But Kirito, before we go, do you have any final thoughts about this BO3 and any future notes for either one of these teams?
Yeah, definitely. Keep your eyes open for Reckoning Esports. I believe they're going to be coming back with the vengeance for the next season, but also keep your eyes on FS for this season, because I want to see how they react after this loss, because I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting it. We weren't expecting it, and I just want to see how they cope with it, how they are able to maintain this, because a team at their stature, they should be experienced at sort of, maintaining their composure, keeping their momentum in their favor, and hopefully performing the next match. But speaking of next matches, we don't have any matches further on today, but we have one more later on at evening at 8 p.m. It's going to be True Rippers taking on ROG Academy. That's definitely a match you want to keep your eyes on. So if you want to be notified when that match goes live, make sure to hit the notification notification bell on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you're ready for any esports content we're putting out whenever we go live and stuff like that. And with that being said, it's me, Kirito, and my friend CCV. We're going to be taking our goodbyes. Before we go, it's LG Ultragear brought to you by sorry, I'm messing this up. Apologies. This has been a
It's
long
fine.
day. It's been a long day.
It has been
LG
very
Ultragear,
intense.
LG Ultragear powering Tec Gauntlet powered by Crucial, and we're gonna be saying our goodbyes. Till then, see you next time. We'll be back.
One, two, three, let's go.